Hoping I can drown my sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. So I'm addicted to you. Visions of you. Come closer, 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 closer. Come closer, 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 closer. Visions of you. Intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrow, but I love that bitter taste. Visions of you. Come closer. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. Visions of you. When forever finally ends, all the promises are broken. No more fights to pick up the pieces. I left you with the parts of me I don't wanna see you again. Don't wanna write any more of our story, 'cause I know how it is. When love isn't enough, you have to move on just to be numb. You know the rules there. No, it's not right. No, it's not right. I sleep better at night. When love isn't enough, you have to move on just to be numb. You know the rules there. No, it's not right. No, it's not right. But I'll sleep better tonight. When love isn't enough, you have to move on just to be numb. You know the rules there. No, it's not right. No, it's not right. No, it's not right. I sleep better at night. I just keep crying when I hear your name. Kissing her just sparked a flame. I took you for granted, and you did the same. I wish I never said those things.
Hello and welcome to the final day of TSCC Winter 2025 I am back. I have survived the Red Bull event and all the interesting shenanigans that happened at the end of it. I'm joined here by Key for the first two matches. We're going to have Boney on for the final, trying to take a bit of pressure off the casters, give them a chance to recover. But yeah, we're kicking it off with lower bracket round 3. We have Slovenia versus Denmark. These two have already met in the knockout phase, and that was a very, very close match. I think it went 3-2 in favour of Denmark.
The Danish squad, yeah, they
Yeah.
slightly outpaced Slovenia on the decider map, which was map 25, which was banned for this match. We see, I believe it's Slovenia's peak being repeated with map 17, and then Denmark switching it up, and instead of picking 18, which is a bobsleigh map, they opted for a full speed map in 19, and then the randomizer graced us with 3 black maps of 21, 23, and 22 in order.
Yeah, it is going to make this potentially a bit of a marathon, this match. These are two teams who went
Definitely.
toe-to-toe last time, and we've rolled possibly the 5 longest tracks on the campaign. I don't have the exact numbers to back it up, but at least 5 of the 8 longest or something like that. It's a very long selection of maps. But
That is a very long selection.
against TSDC tradition, the players are getting on with it. Everything is running fairly on time, and we are going to be hopping in to map number 17 to kick things off.
Yeah, a sort of classical dirt map, one drift in the middle, which made some dirt players mold a bit, but it is a very, very dirt-oriented map. Which I thought yesterday should favor Denmark, as they are kind of known as the specialists of the style, but Slovenia showed really, really well on the map yesterday, which they already failed to do in the first round with Jan very early on crashing into the wall, leaving Manta and Nates with a very heavy task ahead of them.
Yep. Before I had to dash off to Red Bull, this is one of the few maps I actually caught, and I believe it was a 5-4 scoreline in the end. It was very close. So it is going to come down to the wire here. If it's anything like yesterday. And for now, it is just about favouring Slovenia. We've had kind of 2 big mistakes from each side, but Slovenia holding 1 and 3, so that's done to build a miracle, which that certainly isn't. That will be around for Slovenia. And
those lines were anything but clear.
yeah. Not the finest round, but it's still
Manta is
started.
kicking. Yeah, but Manta is kicking us off with a very, very respectable time of 52.3. That is gonna win most of matchmaking rounds in any division, really.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my best time relative to the rest of the world is on this track, and that is 1 second faster than my PB. So, yeah, high pace coming out from Manta immediately. This time around, everyone keeping it clean through the starting section, and it's Whoop and Lourdes with the early advantage. Lourdes jumps a little too far to the left. Will fall back a touch because of that. So, keeping around nice competitive, other than Whoop, who has run off into the distance.
Yeah, Whoop firmly in front and Loris firmly in the back. It's all on Dunster to decide this round for now.
Yeah, and currently it's not
Unless
looking great for
major
Dunster.
mistakes.
Although,
Oh, he moves into third.
Manta. Yeah, not great lines there. Gets past. We see a clip from it to be leaning player behind. Jan almost catches Whoop. Doesn't manage. Dunster gets into third. And that will be enough for the Danish to strike back. And I said it would be close. You can't get closer than a 1-1 start.
Definitely not. And yeah, Jan was very, very close there to snipe Whoop's run victory, but wasn't meant to be. Whoop's advantage from the first half was slightly too big. I believe we have a full stop into a pole by Manta, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is.
Given Manta is one of the pacier players from the Slovenian side, that is a big immediate loss. So it's going to fall onto Nate and Jan to try and make up for that mistake.
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity for Denmark.
Yeah, for sure. And Whoop definitely there to capitalise on it for now, as they hold the 1-4-5. One of Jan or Nate are going to have to catch up to the Dane. And I think I saw Nate's go flying into a wall.
Nate's went a bit too wide, and he crashes into the wall, so this is a very safe territory for Denmark. They don't even care if Jan takes first, although Whoop is probably there to combat his personal pride. Won't make it, but yeah. 2, 3, and 4 for the Danish side.
Yeah, strong
Well
times.
enough to secure the round.
Oh yeah. Jan might have won a bit of pride there, but it is Denmark taking the round.
And yeah, strong
Fast
times,
pace coming out
like
though.
you said. Yeah,
2.2s.
this is much faster than yesterday. I
Yeah.
think the teams are much better prepared now as we are in the later stages of the competition.
Yeah, when you have a map pack this big, even with a campaign that's been out for 2 months, you're still gonna see players get more and more confident over the course of a tournament.
Oh.
And that maybe can't be said for the Danes this round. This is looking like a bit of a walkover. This should be a Slovenian ace, assuming there are no major mistakes coming out from Jan Manto or Nate. It's
Loris is coming back fairly quickly. Unfortunately for the Danish players, the 2 outside darts in the first half of the map just completely obliterated them. 2 died to the first one. Remaining, I believe it was Dunsta, clipped the second one, and yeah, this allows a Slovenian ace with a very fast pace overall. 52.5 for the third for the last of the team. Not something to scoff about.
absolutely not. And we tie up to 2-2. I said this would be a marathon, and it's not disappointing so far. We get underway here on the 5th round. In a lot of... Oh, I'm going to ignore my point and look at Manta, who has unfortunately gone straight into the wall. So that is going to be Slovenia down 1 player. And now, so are Denmark. Denmark are down 2. As Whoop and Lourdes crash. So that kind of positions 4, 5, and 6 seemingly locked in. So it's going to come down to Nate and Dunster battling.
You're
at
staying
the front.
4, 5, and
Jan.
6 locked in, but there was a very brief 1v1 between Manta and Whoop, which Whoop completely threw by missing the drifting point. And yeah, now they are firmly locked in.
Yeah, with those, with 4, 5, and 6 in that order, it doesn't really matter what Nate and Jan do here. Dunster can win, but it's not going to mean anything for Denmark, as Video will get the 2-3-5. Despite Dunster driving a 0.1, I think that's the fastest round we've seen.
We had 1.15, I believe, by Whoop in round 2, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's a very consistent pace for the winning time. It seems like the 0.1, 0.2 will be sort of what the team's fastest player will aim for.
Yeah, which is incredible pace. Full stop to be driving it regularly in rounds. It's, yeah, shows the level of competition here from both of these teams. Dunster falling a little bit behind, so we end up with 5 at the front. Very tight for the time being. Whoop with an early lead, being chased down by Jan and Nate. And Whoop goes a little too wide on that third. Gets a clip, recovers it quite nicely. Nate's clips, that's going to be far more costly. So,
but Dunster with a massive comeback now from 5th into 3rd. Allows Loritz some breathing room. Also, Whoop is in there, so I think this is very much a Denmark round. Yeah.
Yep.
Even though Jan snipes Loritz in the end by 2,000th of a second, he's very close, but favoring the Danish side, and we are equalized once again. I see a bit of a repeat from yesterday.
Well,
in how close,
yeah,
in how close this match is. I think the map actually ended with 5-3, and sort of the, let's say, the momentum shifts are not here. The yesterday's one team, I believe it was Denmark, was able to get a small breakaway, but now it's literally round for round.
Yeah, well, this round looks like he could be going away with Danes again, as there just aren't enough Slovenian players to contest. It's Jan all by himself, so as long as Denmark keep it nice and tidy, it should all be plain sailing for Denmark. Whoop does not oblige. Whoop goes into the wall, but it's not going to be costly enough for them to fall behind. And we get a 0.0. That's got to be the fastest round. I didn't miss another 0.0, did I?
No. 0.0 is definitely the fastest that we had, and that shows that the Danish squad is very equal on pace, because now we have Loris joining the sort of fast boys squad. We had Dunst drive a point 1, we had Whoop drive a point 1 before. Now Loris with a point 0 showcases how good, like how versatile this Danish squad is.
Sure. It's one of the things on each team. I can't really point at one breakaway player and be like, "Oh yeah, they're really carrying the team here." All the players from both teams just seem exceptional on this track. This round, again, we don't really have any momentum happening because this one favouring Slovenia for now. If they can keep clean, Jan clipped, but he was on such a good run. He will at least hold on to 4. Nate goes absolutely flying, and suddenly what should have been a safe Slovenia round turns into Manta chasing down Whoop. And not going to happen as Whoop drives a point 0. That goes way of Denmark and rounds out the map.
Yeah, so we end up with 5-3 scoreline again, but this time Slovenia not able to secure their own map pick. So this gives a very, very good chance for the Danish squad going into map 19, which is their own pick, the full speed map.
Yeah, that last round, very costly. That could have gone to a 4-4 scoreline had it not been for, I believe, Nate flying out. And we see this masterpiece of a track again. I'll be honest, I think this is one of the strongest campaigns we've had for a long time. Wait, are we not actually loading onto 18?
We've loaded into 18, but... yeah, the Danish pick is map 19, which is the full speed, not the bobsleigh map.
Dude, yesterday was 18, wasn't it?
Yesterday was 18, yes, indeed.
Okay, that's my excuse for not realizing.
Yes, they were able to secure it in a pretty convincing fashion. But yeah, evidently something not clicking, or maybe they think that they have better chances on 19 against the Slovenian roster. And to touch on your comment, I believe this is sort of one campaign where we have the most specialized tracks. So you have like a very full ice, very full bobsleigh map, a long full speed. I don't think we had a long full speed map as a campaign, like full speed. This is basically just SD everywhere, speed slide. I don't think we had a track like that in the campaign ever before.
We've had a few
like full speed. Yeah, all of the other full speed tracks were kind of shorter.
They'll either be shorter or just randomly have a drift at the end or something like that. You know, that's what I remember from when I first started playing campaign. I remember there was one particular track, it was 22 of that season, but yeah, lovely full speed track into a massive drift at the end that I just botched every time. But yeah.
I see a comment that we had a great full speed track 2 seasons ago. Nobody was playing those as alt campaign. Alt cars were in the campaign. For real. Yeah, but it also is interesting dynamic for the tournament like the TSCC that those specialized tracks require like varying, so different skill set as well. You could see, for example, yesterday, Yossi on map 13 was completely untouchable, but that is just because this map is literally what he was playing for. He has been playing for like 8 years now. And he's sort of the anchor point for the Dutch lineup on this technical, like heavy drifting styles of the maps.
Yep. Just to be clear, we are not in round. I believe there has been a technical pause, or a brief one. I think Lawrence had a game crash, so probably going through another set of warm up, and then we will get into it.
Yeah, I'm kind of run out of points to run through now for the warm up.
Yeah. Josh saying that he wants to see a 0.4 on this, at least. Well, I'll flip on the UI, see what we get from warm up.
I think there's a 1-up. Actually, Matt, if I don't see a 0.0, I don't think we will be seeing a 0.0. Maybe a wrong second 0.0.
Yeah.
But yeah, how did you enjoy the Red Bull event yesterday?
Yeah, it was great atmosphere in the venue, and the venue itself was absolutely,
I mean, yeah,
brilliant.
when you are surrounded by the Red Bull cars
Oh, exactly.
inside the factory, it's something.
Yeah, one of my mates I was sat next to just kept on leaning over to me and going, I keep forgetting there's 15 F1 cars in this room. Like, yeah, this is the most F1 cars I've ever seen in one place as a massive F1 fan. And I'm paying no attention to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really cool atmosphere and vibe in there. Yeah, interesting matches.
Very delicately put for the last round on Showdown.
Yeah, I did start a conversation of what's the most unfortunate bug in TM history, that or the double ITB
GeForce.
crash on GeForce.
Right, we are, I believe, done with the warm-up.
We
So we can
are
jump
indeed.
right into map 2 of Slovenia versus Denmark clash, as we will have Manta, Nates, and Jan again facing off against Dunsta, Vingumi, and Loritz. So we have Vingumi subbing in for Whoop.
Yep. Outside of that, lineups look to be staying the same. So for now, I can kind of see why Denmark picked this if this first round is anything to go by. Loritz and Dunster with a decently hit. Dunster looking like they've dropped a little bit of speed to Jan, but equally, I don't think the rest of the Slovenian players are really there to capitalise. So.
No, I think it would be easier to count the missed SDs by some of them than the proper ones. Manta hugging the wall at the end also definitely did not help. I'm not sure where Nace went. He must have flown off the track, arriving 10 seconds later. But yeah, this looks very, very dominant for Denmark in the first round.
Yeah, that's the kind of round you look at, and unless Slovenia kind of fell asleep or something, I don't see a way they're getting back into this. The pace just looks to be on a slightly different level, and certainly with stylized tracks like full speed, if you're not a full speed player, or certainly in this kind of format, if you don't have 3 good full speed players, it's going to be really tough to fight against a team who do.
Yeah, and I think about full speed is that even like you definitely need to know how to speed slide, because if you don't for a brief second at the very start of the track, you just lose 10 speed that you will never regain back, and you will just gradually lose the time because of that speed slide missed. And I believe that Denmark is hitting the speed slide much more consistent than the Slovenian lineup overall. Maybe they've watched, I believe we have seen Slovenia on 19. Maybe they watched that match and decided because of that. That's possibly not the strongest pick from the Denmark side, but definitely one that makes sense in this matchup. Though Dunstan now touching the inside of the 180 at the start gives slight advantage to Slovenia. But if Vingami and Loritz can keep up their pristine SDs, then I don't think there will be much to fight with for Slovenia.
Yeah, it's one thing. When it's coming to pick bands, you don't always want to pick your best track. You just want to pick whatever has the biggest difference between your skill and their skill. And I think that is what we have seen from Denmark here. Manta falling really far behind, overtaken by Dunster despite that clip, and that'll be another round guaranteed for Denmark here without any major shenanigans in this ending section, which I don't really see a way to mess up at all.
You can always crash.
You can always crash. It's always possible, but compared to some tracks which might have a tight jump or something you can miss, this one's just drive into the finish for the most part.
Yeah, the start of the round looked quite promising for Slovenia. Unfortunately for them, Vingumi got such massive overspeed in the middle part of the track that he just flew past 2 Slovenian players into third, and that basically guaranteed the previous round victory. Now, no crashes in the start. Jan with a very interesting line, going super low on the... Yeah, it's super low on the speed slide, but definitely worked. But yeah, Manta and Nice are trailing a bit far behind, and also Jan, I think, has lost a bit of speed. And The Danish trio is just cruising off into distance.
Yeah, Jan seems to be the only one of the Slovenians who can even vaguely stick with the Danes, but even then, can't deny the Danish ace that is forming this time around as Denmark
Another
move
0.5.
3-0 up. Yeah, Josh
Is it
is still
exactly the same
disappointed.
time? Is it exactly the same time for Lords?
I remember it was a mid-0.5 last time. I can't remember if it's
I
exactly the
mean, I
same.
think it was 554. So 1 in 10 chance?
Yeah, we don't have a cool replays that Red Bull had going on, you know. Don't have that on
Yeah.
our production setup, sadly.
Something to improve.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I've always
Yeah,
wanted to copy the setup that. Oh dear,
oof.
Jan. I've always wanted to
This
copy the
looks
setup
very,
that.
very dicey.
Yeah. This is going to be a washout. This will be 5-0, I think, without. Unless Denmark start driving into walls consistently, which I don't think we've really seen more than one crash from them. It's going to be neat and tidy. It'll be a 5-0. Move on. Go next. And we get a 0.4. At Josh, you
Oh,
won't be
Josh,
mad.
yeah.
Yep, we got the 0.4. And that is 5-0. And this puts Slovenia in a very, very precarious position.
Especially as we are going to map 21, the speed tech, which they already lost yesterday against the Danish squad. Though I believe the pace was there, it was just a bit of a consistency nightmare, frankly, from both sides. But I believe that Slovenia can at least fight for the round victories, unlike what we just saw on 19.
Yeah. I mean, they have to be able to fight for round victories, or what I promised would be a marathon match is going to wrap up rather swiftly.
Laurit's game crashed again.
What a
His game
shocker.
crashes. His game crashes on every mob switch.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So-
Trackmania.
So we'll have another extended warm-up, I believe. I'm not sure if he was in the lineup for Denmark on this map. We see Jake Ray hopping in to warm himself up. Dasta is definitely the man to watch for in the Danish lineup, and similar role will be taken by Manta on the other side. They are by far the two most experienced tech players.
So, the winner of this match will go on to face the Netherlands in the, I guess, lower
Loser
bracket
bracket
final.
final. Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I didn't see any of the matches past, ironically, Slovenia and Denmark yesterday. So, can you give me a summary of how the Dutch team look?
Very strong. I think no matter which team advances from this round, they will be no match for the Dutch lineup, especially on the technical tracks where you have the duet of Yossi and Yavzo. Yossi, for example, driving a metronome 0.7 on map 13 when nobody else really can drive that pace consistently. We've not seen a lot of even sub 43 seconds times there, and Yossi was just driving 0.7, 0.7, 0.7 on the dot. So it's gonna depend a lot on the ping ban. I don't expect map 13 to go through that phase. But yeah, still there are a lot of tracks where Yossi can just be the difference maker.
Yeah, I remember Yossi's performance in week 1 was frankly terrifying at times. He's such a good tech player. So, yeah, it will be an uphill battle for whichever team makes it through. And you got to say right now, it is favouring Denmark.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they are in the driving seat of this match. They have 3 opportunities to close it off.
Yeah,
And as I mentioned earlier, they in the match that they played yesterday, they already faced off on 21 as one of the random maps, and this ended in a 5-3 scoreline for the Danish side. So they can be definitely filled with hope that they can close it off in just 3 maps and not make it a marathon like you expected.
yeah. It's kind of a quirk of this format with having one map pick each. Is that if you lose your map pick, you're in such a vulnerable position when you get onto a random track. Even if maps 4 and 5 look brilliant for you, it's, there's a reasonable chance to get 3-0 just because you lost your own map pick. So, yeah, I think unfortunate mistakes cost Slovenia there. Allowed Denmark to get into this advantageous position. Now it's on Denmark to try and capitalise on it. What is
And
the next
we're
track after this one? I believe it would be
23.
23. Yep.
Okay, and we have Lawrence, J-Cray, and Dunster facing off against Nates, Manta, and Supingo. As I said, I believe we're gonna expect many Manta Dunster 1v1s for the round victory, although J-Cray start is absolutely fantastic. It's flying into first, though a bit wide on the entry to this drift. Gonna have a lot of overspeed, but you're gonna lose all of that in this uphill turn. And yeah, Dunster losing a bit of the ground to Manta, but J-Cray still in first, about 2 car lengths ahead of the Slovenian opponent, but now Manta with slightly more speed. He will be catching up. Very tight drift, I think a bit too tight.
Oh,
Had to overslide.
Jake, right.
Ooh, Jake jumping
He was
off the
jumping to
track.
Narnia.
Yeah, jumping off the track, and that allows Manta
Oh,
to slot into first, Nate's fourth, Supinga fifth. This is a round win for Slovenia. Very unlikely result based on what we saw.
yeah. That was a strange mistake to make. And took what looked like a very dominant Danish round and turned it into a Slovenian win. Dunster unable to catch up. I think it's 22,000 that decided that round in first. So Slovenia maybe not the favourites on this track, but do get the first point on the board. And might well get the second.
J-Cray crushing the second. Yeah.
I feel like a
Crushing very
more
early on.
common mistake to make. Dunster going as well, and yeah, this round is absolutely
anything but over.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like that last round, but this feels worse. If any Slovenian players have their UI on, have a shot caller, anything, just yelling safe down the microphone.
And judging their lines, I believe they do have at least a shot caller. Nates is drifting like middle of the road, cruising in for an easy 54.2. You don't need anything more to be faster than people who made some early mistakes in Dunster and J-Cray. And yeah, Slovenia is moving up to O.
Yeah, not the start of this map that I think Denmark would have wanted or expected, to be honest. Costly mistakes coming out from them, even if they do appear to have some very good pace beneath that. So, I think in an unfortunate way, all eyes are going to be on J-Cray as we see the first crash coming out from Slovenia this time. It is Manta going into the wall. So long as Dunster and J-Cray keep it clean, this should be a very, very relaxed round for them. But despite the high pace, we're yet to see J-Cray actually hold together a clean round, so I'd be tempted to say it's not over, but it is 1, 2, 3, unless 2 of them jump off the map here.
Which
That
they
would
don't.
be-
They would
yeah.
need to now crash the very last corner, which they probably won't. Yeah, and Nate's even doing so for the Danes. So yeah, this is a Denmark scoring an ace and coming back in style to close the gap to just 1 round.
Yep. Very, that's kind of confident boosting performance you want after having a couple of crashes in a row. Well, it doesn't matter if you get an ace or not in terms of the actual points. It's always nice to see and go, right, we are in charge of this. We play well, we can beat them. Just gotta keep it neat and tidy. Manta already a bit behind, but point 2 is catchable. Outside of that, no major mistakes. And see Manta does close most of that gap up. J-Cray, first one to get a little wiggly there. Only dropped 2 tenths behind though, still very much involved.
Oh, Laris with a massive release now, and this allows Manta and I believe Nate's as well, yeah, everyone to just cruise past him. And yeah, this is this requires some miracle from J-Cray. Like full send last drift. Hope for the best.
Yeah, doesn't happen. Ends up going very wide.
He got close. He caught up almost a tenth with this drift alone, but slightly too far to be the difference maker.
Yeah, you gotta say, when Slovenia are not letting Denmark get away with mistakes here. Single trip up and they're just there to pounce on it. Even if I'd say that I don't think Slovenia's pace is better, they're just there to pick up the pieces and take advantage when these Danish crashes happen.
This is a very strong start for Denmark now. Nate and Supingo both 2 times behind their opponents. Manta with a bit too inside line, I believe he will lose a lot of speed now, and Loris will probably even overtake him going into the uphill drift. And so he does. Yeah, this looks very, very hard to come back to for Slovenia unless Dunster or J-Cray make a massive mistake.
It's
and
Supingo
we instead see Supingo jumping in a flip and Manta also crashing on the drift. Loris's mistake is unpunished. 253s for the Danish side to secure top 2. Very easy round pickup.
Yeah, everything I said about Slovenia being there to pick up pieces, they weren't there this time. That said, Denmark didn't really drop them either. So that pulls Denmark a little bit closer into it. 3-2 scoreline now. Slovenia got to be hoping for some more mistakes to come out, and we do see one immediately. That was J-Cray straight into the wall, so we get a 2 versus 3 at the front. Nate's leading the way as well for the time being, so this is a good opportunity for Slovenia to try and get themselves up to 4 points, up to map point. Dunster leads the way. Barrett in 4th, and Supingo crashes. That is potentially very, very costly, as J-Cray does get the overtake. And the opportunity for Slovenia, it's still there, but Manta will have to hold on against Dunster. It's going to be so close at the front between those two, and Lawrence gets Nate, and that ends up costing them. That was such a good opportunity for Slovenia, thrown away there, unfortunately, by Supingo.
Yeah, Manda holding off Dunster strong, but unfortunately Nate's missed the last drift slightly, and that allows Loritz to snipe him by 500ths of a second in the end to secure a equalizing round victory for Denmark.
That brings them 3-3 here.
Nate's with quite an early release, so series of release. Nate's is pretty much out of contention unless some major mistakes happen. So this is now a 2v3, 1v3 situation for Denmark. Yeah, this is very safe territory for them now. As they are able to probably just cruise into finish to pick up what will be a match point.
Yeah, sit back and relax here for Denmark. No one really in contention. The closest Slovenian player is Nate, who had a massive series of releases at the start. This will move Denmark up 4-3 on this map, and within 1 round booking their place in the lower bracket final, securing at least a top 3 finish for this TSCC and a chance to challenge for the title. This is crunch time now for Slovenia. Anything they've got to show in the next 2 rounds. get underway here on what could be the final round of this first match. No mistakes yet. We see Dunster falling a little bit behind, as does Sapingo. Down, but certainly not out of contention for any player yet. This is a solid start for Slovenia. They've got 3 of the top 4 players, but one of them going very wide. Might carry some more speed, but doesn't seem to have capitalized on it for now. Laurid's looking like the player it's going to come down to here. Go Cricket off first. Laurid crashes.
Ooh.
Dunster is behind, and if Slovenia can avoid losing 2 attempts through this final section, they can securely pick up a 2-3-4, and they take this map to map point. I said they needed to give anything they had, and they did indeed.
They were there to pick up the mistake.
Yeah.
Early on, Dunster had to release slightly. He was pretty much consistently trailing about 0.2 of a second behind, and then Laurid's crash just sealed the deal for the Danes. As we move on to the decider for the map number 3 of this lower bracket match.
Yep.
And very, very strong first drifts for the Slovenian lineup. Manta and Knights there in the top 2. But Jake Ray is here to try and deny them. Oof, Supingo crashing on the inside is not what you want to see if you're a Slovenian fan.
No.
Manta looks to be firmly in lead, about a car length ahead of Jake Ray. Oh, Knights clipping the entry to the drift. And
yeah,
that's pretty much over.
I think, unfortunately, yeah, everything happening in crashes behind, deciding that round and bringing to a very unfortunate end. One of, if not the best runs from a Slovenian team we've ever seen. Getting to top 4. I think they can be very happy with how they played, even if this match didn't end up going their way. They fought to the very bitter end. But that will be Denmark. Already 2 times winners of this tournament, getting themselves into the top 3 minimum. Having it face off against Netherlands next for a chance to reach the grand final.
Yeah, and I think this is very promising for Slovenia, sort of country going forward, as Manta and Supingo are kind of newcomers, and they definitely seem to be on pace with the more experienced players that you see in this tournament. So yeah, we can definitely expect some great things from Slovenia in the future, but unfortunately, their run in TSCC Winter 2025 ends here.
Indeed. So it is going to be Denmark versus Netherlands as the next match. Now, again, I wasn't able to follow much yesterday. Did these 2 teams play each other? Don't remember.
I don't think so. I need to check. My memory is a very small one.
We are checking.
We are checking. No, Denmark lost to England.
Yeah. So, yeah, they may have played in the Swiss stage, but honestly, if it's a week ago, players are so much more practiced coming into this stage. Especially the top teams who just view Swiss as like, right, we just need to win 4 matches and kind of survive. So, yeah, it'll be going in a bit blind, but
they have actually faced in the Swiss.
Yeah, and I know that would have gone the way of the Netherlands because they didn't drop a single match.
Yep, it was a 3-2 brawl. Maps 18, 23 as the peaks, and then random maps going 12, 25, and 13. Maybe we'll see some repeats now.
Yeah.
Maybe the teams adapt the pig ban based on those results. We will see in a few minutes.
Yeah, indeed. It's always interesting to see how the pick ban dynamics change with teams that have faced each other already. But for now, we will throw to a quick break. Well, I'm not sure whether Netherlands are ready to get underway straight away or whether they're going to be kicking off at 1. But we will be away for a break and hopefully back relatively shortly.
touch the sky. Starlights, I'll be running up and down, trying to think about you all the time. I don't really need to apologize. I know, but you like it. I'll be staying outside, yeah, so I don't think about life, yeah. Can you tell me a lie? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it. You got me feeling alright, yeah. Every day by your side, yeah. Can you tell me a lie? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it.
Every day I want your touch, and every way I can't give it up. Anything just to feel the rush. This just ain't enough. Oh, will you be my ride or die? Oh, we can do this every night. Oh, yeah. Will you be my ride or die?
Intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. So I'm addicted to you. Visions of you. Come closer, 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 closer. Come closer, 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 closer. you. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrow, but I love that bitter taste.
Visions of you.
Come closer. Closer, visions of you. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste.
Visions of you. Maybe I'm indecisive, maybe it's all too late. Maybe I'm just done fighting, maybe. Oh, maybe I'm indecisive, maybe it's all too late. Maybe I'm just done fighting. It's all too late. It's all too late. All too late. It's all too late. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm falling down. Maybe it's me in my head and I can't get it out. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm falling down. Maybe it's hazy. Oh, I almost touched the ground. Touch the ground. Oh, I touched the ground. Touch the ground. Touch the ground. I can't seem to make up my mind about us. Make up this time for us. Make up my mind about us. Yeah, but believe me, I tried. I don't know why I couldn't make this work. But believe me, I tried. Now it's all too late. Now it's all too late. All too late. All too late. Oh, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm falling down. Maybe it's me in my head and I can't get it out. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm falling down. Maybe it's hazy. Oh, I almost touched the ground.
Close your eyes.
Hello and welcome back to TSCC Winter 2025 for the penultimate time. We have only 2 matches left of this tournament, and we are going to be watching 2 multiple-time winners, 2 teams who consistently show up with some of the strongest players in the competition. We are watching Denmark versus
Yeah, and this is probably not a matchup that you would expect in the lower bracket final, especially considering the both teams standing in the campaign. England is awaiting in the grand final. They were very, very dominant yesterday, beating Netherlands in the winner bracket final in a pretty convincing fashion. And yeah, we will be starting the match off on the map number 22, which is sort of TMGL inspired map, I would say. Some
sure.
small identity going throughout with the reactor wall right, an ice slide, some grass, some dirt. Very, very mixed map. Which we've seen Dutch players actually struggle on a bit yesterday, so maybe this is the factor that made this Danish map pick. We'll see.
Yeah, it's a map that suits very well-rounded players. You know, you get some players who are kind of almost one-trick ponies, just knowing one style like tech or full speed or ice very, very well. I don't think this map really suits anyone in that way. There's a bit of ice, there's a bit of dirt, there's drift, there's wall rides, there's anything you can really throw at a player shows up in this track. So
I know one player in our competition that this track suits pretty well because of the TMGL experience. And that would be Mr. Ipos himself in the English lineup.
Indeed. Yeah, this is yeah, it definitely it doesn't feel like perhaps a competitive map that I would stick in a competition, but it's in the style of competitive maps that have been put in competitions. So we aren't messing about, we are getting straight into it. Netherlands versus Denmark, two of the strongest teams in any TSCC edition, facing off once again as we start here on map number 22. And for now, it's pretty much neck and neck. No one.
Yeah, very tight, very tight pack throughout the first half. Yaz and Jikri with slight lead, but as this can very, very easily be overturned by any of the players behind them. Jikri clipping a bit of the penalty grass and also going a bit wide, so he will have slightly more speed than Yaz and much better line on the plastic. Means Whoop with a cynic route jumping through the poles. Loritz and Whoop have some catching up to do to support Jikri, who is still in first, though being chased down by Yossi, who had a very nice ice slide, and I think he will overtake. Yeah, Loritz crashing in the meantime. But yeah, Yossi overtaking Jikri, and there's 3 blue players surrounding Jikri. I don't think Denmark is gonna be able to do anything about that. And yeah, we are starting off with a pretty nice base with 2.1s from Yossi and Jikri.
Yeah, I mean, on a track that's 70 seconds long, to have everyone only separated by 0.3 other than Loritz is kind of nuts. And Loritz was in there until they kind of got the ice exit wrong. Didn't really get the rotation to land a bit sideways. Probably one of the easier mistakes to make on this track. So I wouldn't be shocked to see it again. But yeah, very close round going the way of Netherlands to begin with.
Ooh, and now we see a mistake from Yossi.
Yeah, Yossi
going a bit too inside on the dirt turn, and he's pretty much out of the round. Loritz and Jikri holding the front. Ooh, never mind. I am very skilled. Just Jikri. Ahead of Poch, and then Yavso in another 1v1 with Whoop, and Loritz has 5th place pretty much secured. So Poch will be definitely hoping to edge Jikri out, and then Yavzo is also in a dire need of being faster than Whoop.
Oh, Jikri! Oh,
And
that's
this is
a huge
exactly
crash.
what the Dutch lineup hoped for, with Puch now pretty much uncontested for the round win, and Yavzo chasing down Whoop, but it doesn't matter if he will succeed in it. He won't, but first and third is enough to salvage Yossi's early mistake
Yeah.
and give a second round to the Netherlands.
Indeed. And this was the Danish map pick, right?
This is the Danish map pick, yes.
Yeah, that's not how you want to start off your own map pick, to be honest.
No, but we see that the pace is there. It's just consistency for now from the Danish lineup.
Yeah. Sure, I mean, we've seen great pace from both of these teams, and I think you were saying, based off what you saw yesterday, you reckon this would be a bit of an uphill fight for Denmark, and that Netherlands were looking very strong, so... Yeah, Denmark really can't afford to be making mistakes, but this round looking stronger for them. They have one player at the back, but for now, Whoop and Jake Ray, first and third, they can hold on to those positions. It will be a round win. So, it is all kind of on Yossi here.
Yeah, Lauritz
try
is
and
super
catch up
far
to
back,
Whoop.
so Yossi versus Whoop is literally the battle for the round win.
Yeah, Jake Ray getting
Unless
involved too.
Jake
as well.
Ray can overtake some of that. Oh, not with this ice slide, and losing even completely sliding out. This allows Yavzo and Pach to go into third and fourth. Then Whoop's performance doesn't matter anymore. This will be a very, very easy cruise to pick up the third round for the Netherlands.
0.9.
And 0.9 too.
Yeah. Very strong round from Whoop, but mistake from Jake Ray proving costly there. It's unfortunately felt like a bit of theme of the Slovenian match as well, where Jake Ray has very, very good pace, but doesn't quite have the consistency to match it.
Yeah, and the Netherlands look a bit more solid. We've only really seen one big mistake from them in those 3 rounds with Yossi's early crash on the dirt. And yeah, they definitely just seem more consistent overall. Maybe not as fast as Whoops sub 1 minute 10, but still. You don't need to drive fast, you just need to... I mean, you don't need to drive exceptionally fast, you just need to be fast enough. And this is not a fast enough line for Whoop, as he faceplants into the light pole on the drift. But Jake Ray and Lawrence are currently occupying top 2 spots. They will be looking to deny Yossi first place, and if they can do so, they will be able to save their teammate from a bit of an embarrassment.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, I think eyes are on Jake Ray a bit here. Gets the jump up relatively well. Yeah, so within a 10th or so.
Jake Ray's pushing a lot. You can see with those apexes on the checkpoint. What a round.
3 players separated by 700ths of a second after a minute 10 of driving on something that isn't TF. You know, it's...
Yeah.
That's nuts competition.
And a situation where that really mattered, like every single place in this fight mattered.
Yeah, it's impressive enough if you even see teammates doing it, but when it's people on different teams, and that was, you know, an 11 versus 10 round win for Denmark, that was so crucial, all of those positions. So, Denmark finally get a point on the board. They're going to be hoping some more momentum shifts their way as Jake Ray gets a solid run completed. Meanwhile, we see a pair of mistakes. Yossi and that is Whoop at the back. So, 2 of the, I think, stronger players from each lineup.
Whoop crashing into the checkpoint now allows Yossi to just completely solidify his 5th spot. So now it's on Jake Ray or Lauritz to deny the first place from the Netherlands lineup. If they cannot do so, it's impossible to prevent Netherlands from going up into the map point. But Jake Ray is doing just that for now. Ahead of Pug, ahead of Yavzo. Lauritz with an incredible ice slide will join his compatriot. And unless some major mistakes happens, at the end, this looks to be a round for the Denmark.
Yep. Well recovered from Denmark there.
Incredible ice slide by Lauritz.
Yeah. So good there. Yeah, Denmark, momentum definitely on their side again. We move 3-2, still in favour of Netherlands, but Denmark picking up some points now on their map pick.
2 rounds in a row, one close one now with a very, very nice showing in the second half. This looks promising for Denmark.
Yeah, despite having had a player completely out of it, and Whoop having had 2 crashes, and Whoop is incredibly, incredibly fast here. So, it's certainly good chance for Denmark to make something happen here, and they're off to a good start, occupying the top 3 places right now. There's still a lot of map to go, but I prefer that to anything else.
Yeah, no early mistakes this time around, only Puch slightly behind the rest of the pack. But we will see, probably this will be all decided, I'm gonna guess, by the ice light. It looks to be a very, very decisive part of the track.
Yeah, Whoop losing out on a fair bit of speed there, drops him down into last place. It's going to be on Jokray and Loritz. Jokray goes... Oh my god, how did Jokray make that? That was 1 pixel further left. And this round had a completely different finish.
There was no room for improvement on this one.
Absolutely not. Jokray picks up a 110.1 there on one of the most terrifying jumps I've ever seen.
Yeah, and Loritz and Whoop there to complete the Danish ace as well, which cannot go unspoken about.
So, Denmark tie it up 3-3 on what initially looked like a dodgy map pick, but it's going to be hard to continue that momentum as Loritz goes into the wall, so it's going to be on Jokray and Whoop. Try and deny the 3 Dutch players.
Ooh, Jokray with a small clip, he will lose a lot of speed and down probably to 5th. Oh, no, good drift. So he's third. Gonna be second in a second because he has massive overspeed over Whoop. Trying to catch Yusuf.
Oh, Whoop!
Whoop. Unfortunate. Yeah, this is a safe territory for Netherlands now.
Yeah, as long as
Jokray trying his hardest, but it's all in vain.
The only hope for Denmark is this jump up here. Did any of them get it horribly? Doesn't look like they will make it through the checkpoint. That will be around going way of the Netherlands. Costly mistake from Loritz at the start. Honestly, a bit of a strange mistake from Whoop. Sometimes you just don't realize exactly how much speed you have, and you can just go a little too far in one direction and clip, and that, unfortunately, lost from the round.
Yep. I wonder, is it appropriate to call it now a breakpoint, similarly to the tennis nomenclature?
Ooh, I kind of like that terminology. Yeah, let's make breakpoint a thing. This is breakpoint for the Netherlands here. An opportunity to win out against Denmark on their own map pick here. Denmark have won 3 of the last 4 rounds. They've had most of the momentum, but crashes have cost them. So can Denmark keep it clean or not this round? For now,
Yavza is looking to be a bit slow. Was not the most optimal drifts going into the downhill dirt section. So he will be slightly behind the opposition, about 3 times back. The rest of the players are just so evenly matched. They're almost neck and neck.
Yeah.
Going in a small of it, like a long train, you could say. Yossi and Pach currently leading that train. Although Pach had to release massively going into the ice slide. Yeah, this is gonna compromise the entry a lot, and you can see that Loris, for example, had much more speed going out of the ice slide, and yes, looks to be the equalizer.
Yeah, despite Yossi's best efforts, the rest of Denmark are there, picking up 2nd to 4th, and that will move us on 4-4. And
map point, break point, we are collecting all the points now.
Indeed, I think we've had matches shorter than this map. This has been an absolute marathon. I looked at the score and was like, have I forgotten to update it? But no, we are still on map 1 here. In this tussle between 2 titans of TSCC. Who is going to blink first? Are we going to see any mistakes?
Almost crushing the inside there.
Yeah, it's so easy to make on a decider round to make these mistakes.
Oh, and now eating a lot of
Christ on
penalties,
you.
and that's not ideal for him.
Yeah, the puck
Nope.
slightly further back. We're not completely out of contention. For now, it is 3 Danish flags flying at the front. Lawrence, Jake, and Whoop. Everyone keeping it clean and tidy. Yossi breaks up the ace. Tries to get him away, but it could all come down to this ice-slide Whoop.
Ooh.
Poor entry.
Oh,
Oh,
Lawrence
slide
slide
out
out.
from Lawrence. And that might be all she wrote for Denmark on their own map pick. Jake fighting to
All
the
on
end.
Jake.
Whoop a little too far behind without a miracle. And
Oh, Whoop almost sniping Javzo in the end, but yeah, this is Netherlands picking up the map victory on Danish map pick. So breakpoint completed.
yeah, that is one of the closest maps I think I've ever cast in TSCC, and I'll be honest, I have lost count of a number of TSCCs I've cast in individual maps at this point. But that was after a rocky start for Denmark, they did so well to bring it back to 4-4, but composure shines through for the Netherlands.
Yep,
And
gotta also showcase Yassi's performance over 9 rounds,
yeah.
collecting 39 points is almost an average placement of like 2.4, 2.5. Mental.
Yeah, pretty impressive. As we said, as we load up onto the next track, which
I spoke about before we went into the match. Yassi on 13 is not someone you wanna really face.
maybe if he copied his warm-up lines as he goes straight into the
yeah.
first drift, but yeah, when the timer stops being orange, I'm sure we won't see those kind of mistakes straight away from Yossi. This is, this is proper old school tech, this track. It seems like something you'd find in, TM2.
It's sort of a track that, like, when I first loaded into it on the Discovery, I felt like such a massive deja vu feeling. We've been confirmed that it's not like a complete remake, but it played like as if I played this track before. It's so typical TM2 style. Also with the scenery, like imitating the big inflatable balloons and the spectator booths and the wall ride. That's just bog standard tech that Yossi has been playing for years. Yavzo as well. But on the other side, you have Dunsta, who is also sort of the tech origin player, let's say. Though definitely this map pick should favor Netherlands, which justifies their picking, them picking it in the pick one phase. As Whoop or J-Cray, they are sort of the new style players who are more versed in the mixed styles rather than just full drifting.
Yeah, I think with the fact that the older games were so much more kind of monostyle, you didn't really have, dirt was completely different. Grass wasn't a surface outside of a stadium floor. Ice didn't exist. The closest you had was strange no-grip blocks. If you put 1,000 hours into this Trackmania, that's kind of split across all different things. Whereas if you put 1,000 hours into TM2, you're going to end up pretty good at tech because that's all you're going to be playing. So, for now, Denmark with the first mistake coming out from J-Cray. It is Yachty and Javzo, 2 players that we spoke about their tech skill. Flying at the front for the Netherlands. Whoop in there as well. Rangsha 2.
Yeah, but some unfortunate early mistakes from J-Cray and Dunsta mean that this round is no contention, and Yassi can sort of just ego push. I'm expecting not actually 0.7, but he's definitely there showing the early pace already. Maybe he just took it slightly safer because of those early mistakes by J-Cray and Dunsta. Oh, no mistakes. Oh, Jake Ray almost crashing on the outside. That was very close, and this compromises his entry a lot. But look at Whoop just flying in front of UC. Oh, he's on a start. He's on a start and a half.
Yeah, this battle between Yossi and Whoop very much being centre of attention. This is a great 1v1 split by only half a tenth currently.
Yeah, but Dunsta quite firmly in third, so UC needs to hope to snipe Whoop. In the end, won't manage to Whoop
69.
0.6.
What
That's
on
crazy.
earth is that? Yeah, that's... Driving a 0.7 and not winning the round is ludicrous, frankly, for Yossi there. As we
Not
get
something that you would
0.6.
expect. I mean, he would expect judging the TSCC so far, but it just shows that the level in the later stages of the tournament is just so much higher. As you can see now, Yavzo and Yossi holding the flag for the Netherlands. Marantia slightly far back, but still within the reach of the
big
Danish
crash from Jake
players,
Ray.
and big crash from Jake Ray.
That allows this to be a little bit safer for Netherlands here, as they are
What
going
a
to cruise.
final drift.
Yeah, cruising first, second, 0.7 coming out from Yavzo, something that would have been impressive had Whoop not driven to 0.6 the previous round and
Now we're
ruined all
waiting
of
for
our
0.5.
expectations. Exactly. 0.5 or I'll be mad. I'll copy Josh's logic from the first match, you know? But, yeah, great times on the board here as we move 2-1 up in favour of the Netherlands.
Very nice starts from Jake Ray and Dunsta. And there was a early crash by Yossi out of all people, so this loses...
Whoop as well.
Yeah, loses Netherlands, their fastest player by far. I
Yeah.
don't think Yossi will be able to catch up into Whoop. Yeah, it's like 2 seconds behind the Dane. So it's all on Yavzo or Maranche to deny Jake Ray from the first place. Oh, that was a
Jake Ray all
very
over the
weird line
place.
from Jake Ray.
It
Has
seems
an
to have
overspeed
worked,
and
though.
snipe.
0.69
And another
with that.
0.6.
What was that?
Yeah, that was
Range
A-line.
line works out very nicely for him. Snipes Yavzo out line, driving a 0.6. And Denmark very much keeping Netherlands honest on a map that, look, we initially thought would be a bit of a walkover.
Yeah, but now look at Yossi Star. I think he's very hungry to show that there was just a one-off mistake. But Whoop now, Whoop is consistently so good on this right-hander uphill drift, gaining on UC pretty much every single rounder. As we see, sort of a 2v1 battle with Yossi, Yavzo, and Whoop there in the front. Not the ideal scenario for the Danish lineup, especially not with this clip.
He gets away with it for the most part, but it's not going to be enough for the round. We see 3 players separated by half a tenth. 1.6, 2 low
Half a
0.7s,
Half a
another
tenth is-
0.7.
Yeah, half a tenth is understatement. It's 300ths of a second.
That's insane.
That's mental.
I could watch these two teams
Oof.
go at it on this track all day, other than maybe that out from Yossi. Not the finest we've seen, but that does put Netherlands in a bit of a precarious position, losing one of their fastest players.
And
So
Marantia now also gone to the wall. And
Whoop as well, joining Wolfgang.
Whoop as well, but I think the mistakes from the
Yossi
the Dutch side,
crashes
as well,
again.
especially as Yossi crashes again, are just too big. And yeah, the Danes can just
Jake Ray
safely cruise
crashes.
home.
They heard my comment about like what a great competitive round it had been, and then everyone except Yavzo and Dunster decided to drive into a wall. These two having a great fight to the line. It doesn't matter at all though, as it is the battle of the bonks at the back.
No, Yavzo can go some sort of like team. Where are you?
Yep, I did my job. And this moves 3-3, so there's still a very real chance here of Denmark managing to reach a break point this round against Netherlands. on their own map pick, to see these two teams win each other's map picks would be pretty nuts and something that feels very possible, to be honest. As this round,
I'm not sure. Yavzo is completely gone. I think he lagged out a bit. We saw his car twitch a bit, and now he's just so far back. 2.5 seconds
yeah,
down.
it looked very
Yassi
strange.
in first, maybe, but Maranchi definitely needs to pick up the pace slightly in the last drift. Hope to snipe Dancer or J-Cray. That is not a drift that he will be sniping anyone with, and J-Cray even overtaking Yossi with the precision on the end doesn't really matter, but nice one to have for J-Cray as he snipes it from behind. And yeah, Denmark will go on to breakpoint.
Yeah, J-Crate has this. It looks like such a strange line in the end compared to everyone else, kind of going for this jump, but it gives him so much more speed. But he will often end up getting these snipes at the end. But this is breakpoint for Denmark. Can they pick up the Dutch map pick in what would be a pretty shocking start to this match to see both map picks broken? But for now, we have one player down from the Netherlands. They've lost. Yeah, so
and you see also
Yossi
touching the inside, and this is over for the Netherlands.
Yeah,
on this map.
Denmark have been given this map on a golden platter there by the mistake by Yossi and Yabzo this round. And we will see. Honestly, one of the slower rounds, but it doesn't matter. Not about how you win, it's about the fact you win, and both teams win each other's map picks. You don't see that every day.
I wonder, Yavzo has lagged out on both of those rounds. There may be some technical issues.
Oh,
Yavzo
Yavzo DC. Oh, that sucks.
That sucks, but also he was after the crash, so maybe some rage quit?
Perhaps. It's hard to tell.
It doesn't sound like Yavzo, but you know, two lagged out rounds. You never know what can happen in the heat of the moment. But yeah, we'll be jumping off into map 08, which is the grass auto slide mini tech. I'm not sure how to exactly describe it.
It's just kind of your almost cup of the day-esque grass
Grass
low
tech, yeah.
Yeah. Not your full cup of the day grass Gear 5
Oh, Gear 5 is ludicrous.
zone.
Gear 4, this is where it's at.
Oh. Apologies, you can tell I haven't actually played Cup of Day in a long time. Made all those meme videos about 4 years ago and have been hooked since. But yeah, I'm gotta be honest, don't think I've seen either team on this track. I don't have a times up, so I'm not sure who this is gonna favour, and I almost like going in blind sometimes, even if it's not a good job as a caster.
Yeah, I'm certain we've seen England play it yesterday. I'm just wondering which team it was against. It might have been against the Netherlands. Actually verify this real quick. But yeah, this map is, I'm gonna say it's pretty much a lottery, in that it's very short and very easy lines. And this is pretty much always decided by the precision on the end and how well you can NASCAR the last turn.
Yeah, it's very different vibes.
Oh,
to some of the other tracks
we've seen Denmark win against France on it yesterday in the decider. And yeah, and we've seen Netherlands go down to the English lineup as well on this map. So we've seen some of both. The pace will be so similar, it will be down to the mistakes and not necessarily the raw potential of the players.
Yeah, it's gonna be. This map could well be a bit of a blink and you miss it, you know. Looking at times half the length of the first track, which was an absolute marathon. I said we've had entire matches shorter than that first map. Certainly not going to be the case here. This will be very fast pace.
But you know what else can be said about this map? Casting those rounds is so hectic unless there are some mistakes, because you will just see 6 cars inside each other.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, Yavzo lagging a bit on the start. Well, maybe his internet is actually cooked.
I'm not sure, but he is currently first through that checkpoint, so recovered from the cooked internet. So little to separate them right now. We see Jake Ray a little bit behind, carrying more speed though. It is
You see with a really awkward line, but
Yavzo's
precision
so
is
in line.
just so
Dunster
line.
misses finish too. And that will be going the way of Netherlands. They have it. That is an entire round gone. 32 seconds. The last player crosses the line. This is going to be rapid. And looking at that round, I think we're going to be switching the winners almost every time. We see a slight lineup change coming out for the Netherlands. We have Timmy's coming in, replacing Marancha. And it seems to be paying off, that lineup switch so far, with Timmy's in first place, leading Yossi. Are they all going to be able to avoid the slide here? It looks like it, and Timmy's and Yossi looking
Double 0.4.
very confident here. Yep, double 0.4.
So we have all three Dutch players completing a 0.4 run now, with Yavzo doing so in the first round. And now Yossi and Timmy's both driving these the start of time. But yeah, this is, again, it's so hard to call it mid-round, although those starts from Whoop and Dansta are absolutely rapid.
Yeah, this Rambo looking a bit stronger for the Danish lineup. The Whoop in first place, but not carrying too much speed. Dunster carrying a bit
Dunster
more.
went for the overspeed line, but lost all of it
Whoop
on
slides.
the downhill transition. Whoop slides. This allows Yavzo and Yossi both to overtake him. And we move on swiftly to a third round victory.
Yeah, I kind of want to take back my comment about it switching winners every time, because this has been 1-2 every single time by the Netherlands, and not even the same players getting 1-2s.
Yeah, this round would have been probably much closer, but unfortunately Dunsta and Jake Ray both went for the overspeed line in the last drift and lost all of the momentum in the downhill transition, getting a slide out on the grass. We'll see if this happens again. You see Dunsta and Jake Ray both going for much higher apexes, keeping some of that speed, but possibly not enough. But Whoop in first, and Dunsta now moving into third, and this is a round victory for Denmark. 0.3 from Whoop.
Yeah.
Pretty convincing fashion now to deny Yossi the first place.
Yep, drags Denmark back into this. Strong performance from Dunster and Jake Ray as well, both driving 0.5s there. Denmark get their first point of the board, and we're into another round already. This is rapid fire round here on track number 8. For now, round looking pretty tight. Timmy's slightly further back. Dunster and Whoop in a good position. This is definitely favouring Denmark, but it's not over until this slide is done. Yavzo gets slide. Whoop crashes. Jake Ray is there to get third. It didn't look like he crossed the line first, but he did have the tighter line, which pays off, and that round somehow goes to Denmark by the skin of their teeth.
That was the max whites finish from Yavzo that
Yeah.
you can have in the white finish category. Unfortunately, that allows Jake Ray to just completely snipe him in the end and switch over the result to a Danish victory.
Yeah. Dunster crashes there, so there's going to be pressure on Whoop and Jake Ray. Try and get at least a 1-3.
Jake Ray with massive overspeed now over Yossi.
Yeah. Jake Ray gets the slide though. And that's a bad slide. That is the worst it could have gone there.
Yossi also sniping Whoop in the very end.
Yep. So, an opportunity kind of gone there for Denmark as Yossi gets the snipe, Jake Ray gets the slide, and this moves us onto a 4-2 scoreline. And first of 3 opportunities here for the Netherlands to go and round this out. Take a lead in this match. And they do it first time without asking. They have players at front. Yossi's there, Yavzo's there, Timmy's is there as well. But the margins
Oh,
are
that's
so
not a
tight.
great drift line from
Oh, that
Timmy's.
is whoop
Whoop
all over the place.
It's
Crashes.
all on Jake right now to try and snipe UC or Yavzo. Dunster is
Ah,
very
no
firmly in
slides.
front. And
Yep.
it's not gonna happen, and Yavzo, Yassi, and Timmy's coming in second, third, and fifth will round out the map in favor of the Netherlands.
Well, there you go. That was track 8. Blink and you'd miss it. But Netherlands picking up a 5-2 win there. Certainly most dominant performance we've seen, which still wasn't even that much of a walkover. You know, that round number 6 definitely could have gone the way if Netherlands had Denmark even had it not been for that slide. But we move on to a comparable map. Is that fair to say? Replace Silvergrass with plastic and you get 12.
Maybe drifts are a bit harder on this one though.
Yeah, they're not auto slides, most of them. So
Oh, there's quite a few. I think there's 2 auto slides. Yeah, I think it's 2 auto slides on the map. Yeah, but this is the sort of, again, more technical style, which should again favor the Dutch lineup, but we've seen them drop on a full tech map. So perhaps the Danes are about to give them a fair fight. Oh, Jake Ray, not the greatest of lines in the warm-up. We'll see if that gets rectified in the live rounds.
So worried you were going to do the warm-up cast there after seeing that Jake Ray crash?
No.
You're not a warm-up caster? I haven't done it in a little while.
No.
Yes, at the Red Bull event yesterday, I had New Alex sat behind me. And I think it was one time where Medic and Virgil started sounding like they might be doing a warm-up cast, and the entire bunch of us just turned around and stared at New and said, "It's with you casting it," you know? Part of the reason I added a massive warm-up graphic is as much to remind myself that it's a warm-up as all of you.
I'm just looking at the orange number on the car as the best indicator.
That also helps.
No Dossard plus plus for the spectating. But I don't think we'll be seeing massive lineup changes. We see Maranche subbing in back instead of Timmy's for the Netherlands, and Danes remaining in Jake Ray, Dunster, and Whoop, trying to force map 5 of this lower bracket final.
Yeah, of course, all the pressure is on to Denmark now. Have to win the next 2 tracks. They put up a good fight so far. Gonna be regretting not winning their own map pick. But down but not out. Definitely the situation for Denmark here. We get underway with round number 1 of track 12. I believe the first time that I've caught on cast at least. I wasn't there yesterday, so I could have missed it, but poor start for Jake Ray there. It's going to be on Dunster and Whoop to try and salvage something from this round. We are going to need a 1-3. Dunster's doing their job. Whoop, not quite yet, but we know how much pace Whoop has as a player. Might be able to catch up.
I don't think that was the greatest slide, and also this jumped. And Dunster crashing.
Yep.
By Yavzo driving a sub. Very respectable time to kick us off.
Yeah,
probably not the point in campaign where this would be met with NT anymore, but still a very, very nice one. About 0.4 behind world record.
Round 2 here, and I think on a few tracks we've seen Jake Ray almost have a couple of crashes to inspect for walls, check that they're up to scratch before kind of getting into it. So I'm not sure whether that happened on this track or if it is a weaker one. But closer in contention, poor Drifo is going to drop him back, and this currently is a Dutch ace.
Yeah, Dunster looking to deny that, but it's if only him is up to the chop, which he won't even manage with Maranche sniping. Yeah, it's Whoop and Jake Ray slightly too far back to support his teammate, the teammates, and second round victory for the Netherlands, moving up even closer to the grand final.
I gotta be honest, based off these first 2 rounds, I'm quite worried for Denmark here. I'm not sure how they find their way back into this track. Well, I mean, if, you know, Yabzo is going to do that, it's a good opportunity. I think we've seen good pace from Dunster, but Whoop and Jekre are going to have to up their level a bit to challenge the Netherlands. Try and keep this TFCT alive for them.
Yep,
Dunster.
Yassi coming back into first, trying to combat Dunster. Oof, not the
Oh.
greatest of slides for Dunster. He will probably lose to Maranch as well. Oh, Yassi
Ooh.
getting a slowdown on the jump down. And yeah, this is a round victory for the Denmark.
Yeah, a bit of speed loss there for Yossi. Ends up costing the Netherlands. And Denmark get a point aboard here. I think it's still going to be very challenging to win this bout, but not impossible.
Definitely not. Much cleaner starts all around now for the Netherlands. Yassi and Yavzo holding the top 2 spots. Maranch is slightly behind, but almost overtaking Jake, but instead going into the wall, inspecting some of that. Yassi with a slight lead, but Yavzo in a very, very close fight against Dunster and Whoop, now with much better drift, but not the greatest line on the drop down. Those should still be enough unless some major mistake happens, which it doesn't, and Yassi Yavzo securing top 2.
Yep.
That's salvage Maranch's early mistake.
Indeed. Yossi technically securing a sub by 0.002 of a second there, but it is enough to win the round, and that moves Netherlands within 2 rounds of a rematch with England. Another trip to the grand final. And I dare say it's down to 1 round now with Whoop crashing out like that. That is going to be huge pressure on Dunster and Jekre to try and rescue this. Jekre crumbles to it. The only thing that might be able to stop the Netherlands now is wall inspection or Yavzo's internet.
Don't think either of those things will happen.
I don't think so. Couple of
Dunster
corners left.
jumping
Dunster does
nicely
end up
into
getting
first.
it. Gets a very a good time, but it's not enough. The team isn't there. And this moves the Netherlands within 1 point of another TFCC final. They're an experienced team. They've been there countless times before, and it looks like they're going to add another to that tally. Unless Denmark can really pull a rabbit out of a hat here. Do they have anything? One last push to try and deny the Netherlands. Well, it's going to be easier as we see a Netherlands player falling early on in the track onto Marancha and Yossi here to try and rescue this after Yasso's mistake.
Such clean drift from Yossi. This inside line paying off nicely, moves on to first. Marancha is falling slightly behind. It's all gonna be on this drop down and the precision into the finish line.
Oh,
Marancha with a lot of speed.
Dunster gets it.
Not enough. Dunster sniping Yossi and Marancha in the end. Very, very nice race. Jekre also 6,000 behind Yossi. That's enough for the Danish lineup to preserve their chances.
Yeah, well, I said they need to pull a rabbit out of the hat. We've got the ears, but not the rest of it yet. Need 3 more rounds like that from Denmark. They need to try and capitalize on any mistakes. As for the Netherlands, they need to keep it clean, keep it tidy, and keep it fast. Now, Yavzo
doing just that with Yavzo and Yossi.
Yeah, Marancha falling a little bit behind, but for now it is Yavzo and Yossi looking a bit untouchable here, assuming there's no mistakes coming into his final section. Yavzo goes so far left, throws it, and Denmark stay alive.
Oh, Yavzo.
That was silly.
How he survived the clip was one thing, but then unfortunately not able to correct it in time and full planting into, like face planting into the pillar there on the drop down.
Yeah, and
very, very unfortunate stuff.
This is the kind of thing where you can get a little in your own head now here. If you're Netherlands, they're an experienced team, it shouldn't happen. But you can start thinking, we should have this in the bag, we can't mess this up, and you get in your own head. But for now, they're keeping it clean, they're keeping it tidy, they're up front. So, Jake Ray takes the lead. Whoop and Dunster and Marantia falling a bit behind, and it almost looked like a repeat of last time.
Yeah.
Can Yossi and Yavzo keep it clean, keep that 1-3? Dunster moves up into first, and a 1-3-5. The rabbit is out the hat.
The rabbit is out.
Denmark have a chance to pull off an unthinkable comeback here. On
He's
map
struggling
4.
really hard on the end, it seems like. Not exactly from, but he's struggling a lot on this final couple of seconds. And this allows Danish players to just hope and dream. Dunstan now trying to fend off Moranche and Yossi. Yossi with perfect drift. Going inside with good speed. Moranche, Dunstan and Yossi in the top 3. Whoop and Jackery slightly behind. Jackery goes for a lot of speed on the very small drift up. I think Whoop will snipe Yossi.
We're fair! Is that it?
Okay,
That's
who won?
2-3-5.
Yeah, that's 2-3-5. That is
Oh my god!
incredible from Denmark.
That is one of the most incredible comebacks I've seen in a map. 4-1
Yeah.
down with not just the map on the line, not just the match on the line, but the entire tournament. A chance to reach the grand final. Netherlands had to keep it clean, tidy and fast for one round, and they're denied by Denmark. Denmark keep this alive and drag us onto map 5, kicking and screaming.
Absolute cinema.
Yeah, that is one of the greatest maps we've seen in a long time. And incredible for Denmark to have stayed composed for there. So easy to just think it's over when you're at a 4-1 scoreline. You've been losing on pace, losing on consistency. But they didn't give up, they kept going, and
They found
they
the
drag
small
us on.
opening that they needed, and
Yeah,
we're on to map 5 now.
indeed. Track number 14. We saw this quite a lot in the Swift stage. Certainly one of the more common tracks.
Yeah, I think it's sort of a map that no team really picks, but likewise no team really bans. It's sort of
Yeah.
like the middle of the ground track. Not a lot of teams will probably feel very confident on it, enough to have it be their pick. But also, likewise, it is a pretty evenly matched track all throughout, especially at this level already.
Yeah, I'm still a bit flabbergasted by what we just witnessed on
Yeah. I'm a bit
on that.
loss of words.
Yeah. And honestly, if Denmark win this map, clip it, ship it, and send it to the Trackmania Awards for next year. Comeback of the year.
Oh yeah.
Because that was absolutely incredible. But between actually making it the comeback of the year in March, there's still one round staying in the way of Denmark to break some Dutch hearts. They definitely came into this match team as the underdog. It looked like it was going to be over on map 4. But they kept alive. 10 seconds left of warm-up now before we head into the final map of this lower bracket final. Despite what it says on the screen, because I can't update the overlay.
Right, and we're live. We have Maranche, Yossi, and Diabzo, so the exact same trio, trying to secure their spot in the grand final against Dunster, Whoop, and Vingami taking the place instead of Jake Ray. And there's an early mistake by Whoop, going slightly slow, about 3 tenths back behind the rest of the players, but all of the 5 cars are pretty much neck and neck.
Yep. And although they're neck and neck, I'd have to say it's very slightly favouring Netherlands here, as they end up picking up an ace.
In an ace. That's incredible.
Yeah. The top The top 5 separated by 2.5 attempts. Tight round, but it goes way of the Netherlands here. Denmark definitely with some pace though. And I've certainly learned from last round not to camp them out and not to make absurd analogies about rabbits coming out of hats.
Much closer starts this time around. Yossi lost a bit of speed on the penalty grass section, but still there and they're about to fight for a round victory. Vingumi is the only one trailing slightly, but 2 times is still able to...
Clip. Yossi clip,
Clip.
and
Yossi clip,
that
and that's a
being gifted
round
to
for
Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah.
0.5 means nothing when the team is not there.
Exactly. It's a good run from Yavso, but clips from Rancher and Yossi just hand round over to Denmark. 1-1 on map number 5.
Ooh,
And we see a
Vingumi
big mistake from
crashing
Vingumi.
the flag. The fat flagpole is not something that you really often see, but unfortunately he saw it way too well. Maranchi also falling slightly behind, so it turns into a bit of
Yavso
a 2v2.
behind.
Make it a 1v2 now, because Yavso has also crashed and fallen behind Maranchi. So it's all on Yossi to try and snipe the round victory, but it doesn't seem likely. Dunster with a very nice light, picking up 8.5 on his own to answer Yavzo's previous round.
Yeah, I think quite an important 0.5 there, as it kept the gap back to Yossi, didn't give Yossi a look in there, which could have cost him round, and Denmark take the lead. For the first time this match even, they haven't been in the lead once. They've always been trailing or equal.
I'm not so sure, but it's anyways.
I meant it in a really silly way, but I'm not going to try and explain. Anyway, close pack this time around.
Very close pack this time around. Only Yavzo just slightly behind, but it's still all to fight for.
Oh,
Yossi with a very
that was never on. Vingumi and Dunster. Vingumi very much making up for the mistake last time.
Yeah.
Picks up a crucial second place.
Maranchi with an unfortunate slow exit from the dirt means that they fall down into 4th, allowing Dunster and Vingumi to pick up the top 2. And 3 rounds in a row for Denmark. The momentum is very much in their favor.
Yeah. And now it's them only 2 rounds away from a final result, but I don't think people would have even said there was a chance of halfway through last map. But don't discount the Netherlands yet, either. Yavso and Marantia up at the front. First and second. Going to be any mistakes this time around. Yavso goes very inside. I thought that was going to be a clip, but they hold it together. Gummy pushing with all they've got. Not enough. 0.4.
Wow. Only a Kimi Raikkonen reaction is appropriate here. That is a
yeah, insane pace there. Brings score up 3-2, still in Danish favour.
Whoop again struggling a bit in the start and now eating a bit too much of penalty grass. Not falling too far behind, but definitely on the back end of the pack right now. Maranchi leading ahead of Vingami and Yavzo. Yeah, this group is so tightly packed. It's anyone's game until the last drift.
Yeah, it's not going to be Vingami's this time. Yep, she ends up making a mistake. We get another 0.4. Yossi has woken up and said, no, the comeback is not on. We're going to tie it up 3-3.
The pace is unreal.
Yeah, maximum 3 rounds left in this marathon of a match. And I still can't call who's going to the grand final.
No, me neither. Be free to decide it all. See, Whoop's line at the start that does not convince me. In the slightest, he's again about a 10th behind. It's not a lot, but in a field like that, yeah, in a map like that, in a field like that, it is just miles of difference.
Absolutely.
Avingumi
falling a bit
alone
behind.
against the UFC and Marantia at the front. Marantia now with a point 4, UFC with another point 4, double point 4. All of the Dutch lineup on point 4 pace at least once in this match. And they move on to match point.
For the second time,
For the
Netherlands
second time.
1 round away from victory. Or technically, I guess about the 5th time.
Oh yeah.
But momentum is in their favour here. Are they going to make mistakes, or can they keep it tidy? Can they stop the pressure getting to them for now? It's a good start from Yabso and
Great
Marantia.
starts from
Yossi
Marantia and Yabso, yes.
a little behind, but it's not going to matter. If
Ooh,
Yabso can
crashing.
spread up, we have a crash from, I believe that was Whoop. Huge
That was
mistake
Whoop.
in the context of its
Vingami
match.
and Dansta have to push a lot. Vingami crashed, and that's all she wrote.
That is over. Denmark
Yabso.
almost staged one of the greatest upsets, one of the greatest comebacks in TSCC history. But at the death, Netherlands round out an absolute banger match. That's one of the best matches I've ever cast, I've ever seen.
So
And it is
if
going to be...
if we're not on a comeback of the year, maybe this is a match of the year?
Honestly, yeah. It's not common for TSCC to end up that close without it just being a complete mess, to be honest. That was insane quality from all the players, and I am so shocked I've got to even switch back to our faces, to be honest. But it's going to be the Netherlands reaching another grand final. And they're going to be up against what I think is probably the biggest rivalry forming in TSCC. It is Netherlands versus England. These two teams have faced off countless times. They faced off already in this competition twice. Once going the way of Netherlands, once going the way of England. So
Yeah, and England is also looking to defend the title, though not
Of course.
exactly the same lineup. That
it's one person.
star-studded lineup of Boss, Epos, was
Josh,
mental.
Wizzy.
Josh, Wizzy,
it was insane.
that was
that
a
lineup.
mental lineup. Now only Epos is there to defend his title, but overall they are fighting for their nation's pride as well.
Of course, and a shot at, I believe, a 3rd title for England. Someone needs to make a database of this. It's too many Wikipedia pages to look through now. But that will hopefully be starting very soon. Who do you think wins?
England.
You're going England.
I think yes. I think Epos is gonna be the difference maker. Not gonna lie. He is just the best player in the whole lineup.
Yeah, I can see that happening. And I will be performing a very biased cast in favour of England, which feels okay because unfortunately we are going to say goodbye to Key. Let's let him rest and enjoy this last match. And we're going to have Boney coming back, who I'm sure will be doing a very biased cast for the Netherlands. So get ready for a shouting fest between me and him. Again, it seems to be quite a common matchup, but thanks so much for coming on. And
thanks a lot for having me.
Yeah. So yeah, we will throw to a break now, and then me and Boney will be back for the grand final. Don't go anywhere.
I'll be staying outside, yeah, so I don't think about life, yeah. Can you tell me a lie, 'cause I can't take it, I can't take it. You got me feeling alright, yeah. Every day by your take it, I can take it.
Every day, I want your touch. In every way, I can't give it up. Anything, just to feel the rush. This just ain't enough. Oh, we be my ride or die. Oh, we can do this every night. Oh, yeah. Will you be my ride or die?
Intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown my sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. So I'm addicted to it. Visions of you. Come closer, 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 closer. Come closer, 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 closer. Visions of you. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow. intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste.
Visions of you.
Come closer. Closer. Visions of you. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste.
Visions of you. Maybe I'm indecisive, maybe it's all too late. Maybe I'm just done fighting, maybe. Oh, maybe I'm indecisive, maybe it's all too late. Maybe I'm just done fighting. It's all too late. It's all too late. All too late. It's all too late. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm falling down. Maybe it's me in my head and I can't get it out. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm falling down. Maybe it's crazy. Oh, I almost touched the ground. Touch the ground. Oh, I touched the ground. Touch the ground. Touch the ground. Touch the ground. I can't seem to make up my mind about us. Make up this time for us. Make up my mind about us. Yeah, but believe me, I tried. I don't know why I couldn't make this work. But believe me, I tried. Now it's all too late. Now it's all too late. All too late. All too late. Oh, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm falling down. Maybe it's me in my head and I can't get it out. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm falling down. Maybe it's hazy. Oh, I almost touched the ground.
Close your eyes. close your eyes.
Hello and welcome to the finals of TSCC 2025. Me and Boney have not been distracted talking about Red Bull, and we are not now launching immediately into the final. No messing about here. We are underway. Netherlands versus England. We are kicking off on map number 23, where I feel like I don't even need to look. This has got to have been an English pick.
Oh yeah, that one goes without saying. I mean, Epos is there for the taking. Every single time I've seen the man play this track, he's just been driving first place. Not for the time being, he's now chasing behind Yussi, but yeah, 23 very much a English pick and has been a staple thus far. I don't think they've lost a single time when they have encountered this track. They've had some close rounds, specifically against the Netherlands squad, but I think it's a very, very good choice on their end, and you can see it already. Look at that. Epos in the running. Yussi falling behind. Lord Quack, Idolist on 3 and 4. That is a, yeah, that was a start off somewhat close, but halfway through, unfortunately, Timmy's, and I believe that's Shimaranchi, unable to really keep up.
Yep. I've already been called out for my production. Too much nattering. Too much nattering.
There's the red flag with the white cross. What are you talking about? Clearly.
Yeah,
clearly.
yeah.
Clearly. Different flag. Same colors, different flag.
I would hope I do actually recognize the English flag. Yeah. As an Englishman. Yeah,
No, it's good to see this as well, right? Because this is the rematch of a rematch. They faced off against one another in Swiss, Netherlands won. They faced off against one another in winners bracket, England won. And now, in the finals, it's 1-1. It's not just about who is the better of the two for this edition, it's also determining the champion of this TSCC edition. And I mean, I did check the stats a little bit. It would definitely surprise some people, I think, knowing the amount of Dutch teams that we've had. The last time a Dutch team has won TSCC was 2022. They've been around. They've been third. They've been second. They've been fourth. No first place ever since.
That's insane to me, because I feel like I've seen them in grand finals so many times, and I'm pretty sure I called them. I'm pretty sure I call them multiple time winners, when in fact I think it's maybe only England, Denmark, and France, and possibly Germany.
Yeah. Germany's been forever second.
They've had a lot of second places. I'm not sure they've actually picked up a second win, but anyway, this map is looking a bit processional. On a map that doesn't feel like it'd be completely out of place as a Team World Tour like easy map from 23. Epos is thriving. Running away from it. Yussi is there, hanging on this time around, and behind it is fairly close, so this round far less processional. Idol not having his best round. Lord Quack loses all the speed, and even if Epos does beat Yussi here in a dash line, doesn't matter. Everything went wrong there.
Well, it kind of did in the end. Maranchi did have a small touch right there at the end, ending up in 6th place. So it really did come down to that position there. And I mean, the difference between the two, 600ths of a second, but at 600ths of a second, caused the point to go the way of Netherlands. So not a gap of 3 points between the two, only the 1. Still though, it's a very, very hard track to be winning against this England squad. They have been, I mean, as you mentioned, right, just thriving on this track. And it's really getting into these fragile sectors, as we already see a crash occur, is where usually that comes in. But a mistake from Epos. Idol is the only one left in the top 3. Yussi and Maranchi are there to try and claim a win out of this one. I mean, 1st and 3rd, that is good stuff. 1st and 2nd, even better. But Idolist will be pushing here. Not the biggest distance from the Dutch players, but I have to come down to that final drift with the way the map is unfolding. Idolist with a bit more speed out of the 3rd, coming in with the drift. Marantje and Jussi make their way around, and I mean, Marantje does get beaten to the line, but with Jussi on first, that is going to be another round for the Netherlands, 2-2. I still put the favor on the onus of England, but this is important, right? Because despite the fact that this is a pick from the English squad, despite the fact that this is one of their favorite tracks and they have a positive win rate on this, I want to say they haven't lost this map at all throughout the tournament. It's good to put some pressure on the current champions, as we have mentioned before, or not. We have, but Suras has, so you know, they know. Though it was England 4 squad, interestingly enough, as well. It wasn't the England 1 squad. But I believe
2 or 3.
yeah, it was a bit of an odd one last season in terms of the numbers. They didn't really mean
Oh,
that
look,
much.
not it. Marantje, oh, there's complete shenanigans up and down the field this time around.
Oh, no.
I think the shenanigans have gone in favour of England, though. Epos with a bit of lead over Jussi. Idol, therefore a very comfortable third place as of right now. I have been quite impressed by Idol on this map, to be honest. When you look at lineup, not someone who maybe jumps out as one of the best, but has performed confidently on this track, on a track where consistency really matters. Consistency.
Yeah, I think the only place I've seen him falter is on the reactor sector. But other than that, once he makes it past, yeah, it's pretty much smooth sailing from that point on.
Yeah.
Not this one. The one, the second one.
Yeah. If you're painting on back on that first reactor section, quite impressive in the grand final. It is once again Jussi and Epos out at the front. These are definitely the two kind of flag bearers for the teams. Idol, Quacked, Marantje, and Timmy's all so close here. Quacked makes another mistake. Rescues it as best as they can, but that will be a last place, and onus perhaps gonna be on Idolus vanished.
Well,
never complimented him again.
Idolus went a bit too high.
Let me down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I was already mentioning to you off cast if it is coming home, yes or no. I mean, as you mentioned, it's coming home either way.
for one of us,
of us, it is
I'm not.
home.
I'm not quite sure. This is not an awe-inspiring start on our own map pick, but equally, Netherlands lost their map pick last game and still managed to come out with a win. So
there you go.
And this time it's a bit different. It is a best of 7.
Yep.
Important distinction this time around. And each team has 2 map picks, so it is.
More breath. Oh, there you go. Second one. Everybody going nice and low.
Hang on.
Oh, you're hanging.
You know how we didn't even
Hang in
check
there.
that it was an English pick because it was so obviously an English pick.
Was it not? Oh. Oh.
No.
Whoa. Hold
This
the
is
fight
a
to the
Dutch pick. This
horn.
changes the dynamic completely.
What do you mean?
That is a
I
brave,
could've sworn.
brave pick
It very much
by
is.
the Netherlands,
Very much
but
is. Black tries to get in though.
He might
Doesn't
get
make
away
it.
with it.
You know
Epos?
what? This is he's going, but he's missing the rest. He's missing the rest. Lord Quack, not quite there. Was close to it, but not quite there. He plus 1v5. Very much. I mean, it's definitely one of those tracks. But no, that is surprising. 23 being a pick from Netherlands. I mean, interesting ban and a sensible ban. I will say that as well. Is that England second ban was 13. First ban was 24. Also a sensible one. Don't think they are in the mood to play any black ice track. And 13, we have seen the damage that the Netherlands is able to cause on a track like that. But yeah, did not expect 23 to be a pick for the Netherlands. But thus far, this is map point, and it's looking very favorable. Once again, Epos alone at the top. Sure, it gets cold up there. Hopefully, he has a coat with him. But Lord Quack and Idol is lagging a bit too far behind. Gonna have to hope for a crash from 2 Dutch players in this turn, none of them hitting the wall. And in fact, Lord Quack hits the finish, Idolus hits the wall right before, and a 55-8 from Epos. Beautiful time, but not enough to win map number 1, and that is a 5-3 win for the Netherlands. So we go to our actual pick from England, which is going to be 17. Last time around, their pick was 19, which turned out to be a profitable pick, if not for the fact that this time around, the Netherlands has banned that map first, so we're going to get it a little bit dirty.
Yeah.
You can tell very much with the bans that are happening. They've played against one another. They know where the strengths and weaknesses lie, and you can see that reflected in the bans, which is always interesting to see. It does allow us to see a bit of a different match compared to the 2 instances we've already had between these 2 teams.
Sure. This does make a lot of sense as an England pick. Epos, one of the very best dirt players in the world, certainly in rounds as well. So I expect him to be laying down. Based on what we saw in like Slovenia, Denmark, I think we're kind of seeing 0.2s as winning times. I wouldn't be shocked to see regular 0.0s or even fast from Epos. He will be fast. I actually kind of want to hang on board with him till the end of warm up here. See what he gets.
Do agree with Whoop on that. I mean, if there is somebody who will beat Epos to the line on this track, Linksy is
51
to do that. It's just, what do you mean? What do you mean?
51-7 in warm up. Okay.
Well.
Yeah. Cool. And I suppose we should talk about the other players in this match. We have Reincher, Yossi, and Puck coming out for Netherlands. Pretty standard lineup for them. And on the England side, we have Lord Quack and Linksy. Linksy's a bit of an interesting player because they have really kind of come out of nowhere. Certainly within the British scene.
Right.
They had like some good campaign performances and times in TA, but we hadn't really seen them in rounds until quite recently, and they had a couple of really good performances in most recent edition of the Pro League, and in TSCC, of course, reaching another final here. So we're giving a warning that Linksy is mad on this map, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. With no bias, of course.
No.
No.
How could we be biased?
Yeah, in England, Netherlands. Never.
Never.
Anyway, we get underway with our completely unbiased casting.
Oh, yeah.
Yossi falling a little behind at the start, but certainly nothing decided yet. I think I'm interested to see what kind of pace Epos and Linksy are able to lay down here. Lord Quack also towards front with a good start. Bring this toward an England 1-2 for the time being. Netherlands going to need to find a little more pace to get in the way of what is now forming to be an English 8 with Linksy jumping up there. The 3 of them flying so far ahead.
Yeah, pretty much untouchable at this point on. Look at that.
Yeah, this is the kind of performance that scares you when you see the other team all drive clean. A 0.8 coming out from Epos, and then the slowest time on the opposite team is a 0.2. Which in Denmark versus Slovenia would have won most rounds.
Yeah.
That's
just calling out for a bit of a slowdown, Give the rest a chance to catch up. Don't think that one is going to fly. But yeah, you see
Linksy listened.
Early mistake. Oh, and Linksy now with the early mistake. So a bit of a role reversal, but pace-wise, yeah, previous round definitely very, very much in favor of the English squad. Right, with a touch there, and Puch now as well. You can tell that.
And Lord Quack a bit.
They're trying to push the Dutch squad here, but definitely having some trouble getting the lines down exactly. So thus far, not really being rewarded for that risk. And Yossi is left on their own, fighting it out with Epos. A familiar position to be in, surely. Linksy and Lord Quack just lagging a bit behind. no big worries per se. Puck at the moment is 1.5 seconds behind. Don't think there's a lot he's going to be able to do about this situation, though he gets close due to both Lynxy and Lord Quack slowing down, actually. And Epos, well, there's the 0.7.
Yep.
So,
It's
yeah.
honestly, it's one of the things. That was a great round by Yossi as well. 0.0. Brilliant time. But Epos just in a slightly different tier on this track.
Yeah.
And if he can keep this up, it's going to be very, very challenging for the Dutchies to get anything on this
just-
map, frankly.
Feel that way at the pick in this one. Very much is English favorite. I mean, with 23, we already had a bit of that question, but turned out to be a Dutch pick and went the way of the Netherlands. But like I said, the risks thus far haven't really been paying off for the Dutch squad. Puck also just having some issues keeping up. Has been taking some risk here and there, but unable to really make it happen. Epos still in the lead. Lynxy trying to get closer to, but
Oh, lengthy clip.
ooh, that
doesn't
may
really
be
cost him at all.
enough. As Puck is in 5th place at
Oh,
the moment, and Epos with a
Epos
crash.
crash.
You know what? That'll do as well. Thank you very much. That is going to be a round for the Netherlands. What a way for it to happen as well, right there at the end, transitioning onto the black service. That is very unfortunate. He was dead set for that first place. I think even with the first place, it would have to come down to whoever comes in 5th. But that's pretty much was, the nail in the coffin for that round. It was already looking somewhat dicey. But yeah, a bit of a unexpected round going the way of the Netherlands there with the way that one was unfolding.
Yeah, although this round, rough start for the Netherlands, as we see, I believe that was Marisha.
Yeah.
Falling behind instantly, currently looking towards an English ace. Lord Quack clips, that's quite a hefty mistake. I should go have a check to see, is that...
Yeah. Still 2 players though at the
Yeah.
front. And
Oh,
Yossi,
Yossi clips, that should be all nice and tidy for Epos and Lynxy.
Yeah, a couple turns remain. Everybody going nice and wide. Round. Yeah, there you go. Just a 1-2 this time around. No shenanigans occur.
Another sub. But you just expected at this point from Epos. I think it'll be a shocker if he gets anything that isn't a 51, to be honest. So happy on this track.
Yeah, it would have to be some mistake, as we saw on round number 3. Other than that, that's just what you need. That's what you need for first place. And if you're not able to match that, you're gonna have to accept the fact that you're not gonna be able to get 6 points out of it, which changes the dynamic of the match. Unfortunately, with an early mistake does mean that as well with Lynxy now as well 2v2, and so it's more of a fight for the Dutch squad to get into 2nd and 3rd at least, and then either fight for 5th place or slot in 4th. That's the most realistic scenario for this track in particular. And at the moment, that is what we're looking at. Lord Quack currently in 4th place. Marijntje drops down a little bit through that 3rd sector into 3rd place, but still has the lead over Lord Quack. Does get that outside line. Nice. Will go a bit more conservative on that final 3rd turn, but keeps his 3rd place with that, despite the bit of speed more on Lord Quack's side. Another 0.7 for Epox, but with Puch barely beating Lynxy to the line. That is going to be a round for the Netherlands. And so where it is started off, I mean, similar to 23, a very English dominant map. All of a sudden, the Netherlands do find their way in, do find the positions needed to get points on the board.
Yeah, that, yeah, Epos let down slightly by the team there, but we've seen in other rounds that Lynxy and Lord Quack do have the pace. They just need to try and keep it neat and tidy. And I think it's one of the things that something that makes Epos so scary is he's just played so many competitions. Not only does he have his pace, but...
What were you saying about this Epos guy? No, he's gonna catch.
He only has pace, he has no consistency. He crashes all the time and it's infuriating to support him. Anyway,
No,
I will still feel okay about this, because it's still going to be an English 8, and despite that, it still gets a 0.5. Like, a crash run for him is still 3rd place, still gets a 0.5. Oh my lord. It feels like
Anyway,
a running
state of
theme
war.
with a lot of English Trackmania players. You know, I'm gonna be grey
Yeah.
by the time I'm 25 following Pack and Epos. Terrifying players to watch, but
Definitely, definitely. Still though, match point for the time being, 2-4. So that is 3 shots for the English squad
oh,
to
Puck
close
crashes.
things out. Oh, so already a player down. Epos Lord Quack, Lindsay on 1, 3, and 4. Lord Quack touches the wall. Was a bit too
Lord
far on the inside, and Linksy will be able to still, make way for the English squad here. Epos slowing down, ooh, a little bit there, but gets the speed out of the turn, allows Links to overtake. But I think with the distance right now from Aranch and Yussi, it should still be enough to win this round and the map.
We've seen Epos manage to flip at the very end here before, but the two of them cross the line 3 thousandths apart.
Hand in hand.
Yeah, insane performance from Epos there. Strong performance from the other two, and that is going to be England picking up their first map pick.
Yeah, and we go from their first to second map pick. We go down by just a singular number from 17 to 16. So hopefully the sausages are lubed up nicely for these players to make their way across. As 16 is that sausage tech that doesn't come around too often, but when it does, there's always people complaining about the AT. And this one is no different still, though. Pick from the English squad, I think, is one that they have picked before, have been looking quite strong on. And I think this is one as well where we can expect, well, I don't know if Ryan is in server, but I do expect him to be playing on this one. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, to some extent, this track is very much just about survival. You know,
Yeah.
there's so many places where it can go wrong, and being sausage as well, the track almost naturally pushes you off it. It's just, it's gonna be scary for some of the players. There's gonna be some crashes, and I think England will be hoping that consistency can shine through, and that'll be the reason they picked it.
Yeah.
Which,
It's
honestly,
specifically it's that second half of the track where that consistency is also important because it's high speed across these sausage blocks, and as you say, right, sometimes the momentum, the way it shifts the car, can cause you to go flying. So that is the spot that you need to look out for right here across that final turn. Long, slow right-hander. Depending on the speed that you have, it's very easy to just fly off if you don't have to turn correctly, if you don't, have a little bit of a slow and a little bit of a drift to make your way across, finally getting over that reactor boost into the finish line. But a lot of exit speed can be generated there, and that is the risk-reward situation on 16. It's that ending can be oh so punishing. Still, see, it's Ryan coming in for this one. I think that one, not too surprised myself, is the fastest player from the team, has a 9th place on this track with a 41.1. I think Epos also will be joining for this one, does have a 37th spot. And outside of that, unfortunately, I don't have my scroll wheel here. 24th spot from Linksy. So definitely some strong times from the English lineup here. I don't know for the Dutch lineup. It's more around 78th, 117. So 0.7's 0.6. Definitely a far cry from that 0.1 that I mentioned just now from Ryan. Still, though, on a track like this, it is very hard to match that PB. But it does indicate the potential, the possibility, the situation that the Dutch squad finds himself in. 1-1 currently between the two teams, and it's England's pick once again on 16.
Indeed. Of course, you mentioning the kind of pace that Linksy and Ryan have. It's going to be a bit about, maintaining at least some of that pace, but also having the consistency. For now, on round 1, they have definitely started off with the pace, gapping the rest of the field by about 2/10, and Idle still towards the front of that second pack. But without a mistake, I don't think Yussi here is going to get a look in, frankly. Closes the gap
No.
a little bit. Rough drift there. That isn't going to be
Look
it.
how
And this
far
is
off.
the Linksy and Ryan show. The pair of them.
They just drove the PBs of the Dutch squad. That's what happened just now.
That is scary.
And they can
to
go
come up
faster.
against. Yeah. I still think consistency will be the name of the game here, but when you've got that level of pace just in your back pocket, you can be a little safer and still outpace the competition.
Yes, yeah, which it's definitely something you won't be, too remiss about on a track such as this, where if you do have to push it is so easy to make that mistake. I mean, it's definitely not as punishing as ice, but I do feel like it is close to, especially with these inside turns. All that speed just disappears if you do end up going a bit too far on the inside. Linksy Ryan once again in the lead. Idle is lagging a little bit behind.
Yeah, it's going to get overtaken, but again, it's not going to matter because these two are half second in front of the rest of the pack. Another
Basically
0.7 coming out for Linksy. This almost reminds me of some of the rounds where we've seen on the full speed track, where it just doesn't look like players from the same league. It's rare to see on, maps that aren't like ice or full speed. They tend to be the only maps where you get this bigger gap, but it's certainly formed here.
Oh yeah, yeah, you can very much feel that just the pace gap that is between these two. It's definitely one of those where the Dutch squad hasn't really played this one against England.
That was rough.
I don't think from the bans that were there that they would have picked any other. Maybe they would have exchanged 14 for 16. I think that is something that they may would have done if they knew how fast the English squad was on this one. Once again, a 0.7 coming out this time from Linksy, and again, this is PB pace for every one of the Dutch players. And I don't have the idea that Linksy and Ryan are really pushing here.
No.
This is an England pick, yes. Yeah.
This is the most one-sided of all the tracks so far. It has to be said. So, looks unlikely we're going to get a break here. So England gonna at least kick off the match well. Very likely to pick up both of their map picks. What do we have coming up next for the Netherlands? What is their next pick?
So their next pick is going to be 12. So we'll have some platforming with the plastic coming in.
What an end by Ryan, sorry.
What is that? I was looking
he
as
just
well.
came out of thin air. What was that? I was just like, I hope I haven't started a discussion point over a map, over a round which is going to prove it's not a done deal. But after seeing that is a done deal.
Yeah,
that was a ludicrously tight line from Ryan there.
I think that was the one time he had to push.
Honestly, honestly, he had a slightly rough start. Didn't matter in the end. Linksy and... I'm going to not say any more words. It's not worth it.
Linksy with a bad start there, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say
But
Linksy being so strong. It is going to come down to Ryan, and I think it'll be Idle in the hot seat. Yachty goes off the track. The divers from Monaco are currently swimming over to come and rescue him out of the harbour. And it looks like it's going to be another England 1-2, even if Linksy isn't there. Idle is. Drops down to third, but it doesn't matter. 0.6 from Ryan, just to prove a point. And that will be the end of a map, which I think the Netherlands are going to be quite happy to see the end of.
Yeah.
That was pretty brutal.
That was one of those, like, okay, just go next. I think that one already from the first round was determined to be a bye. Let's just go next. We'll play 12 and, show off how good we are on these plastic surfaces here in hopes of that one being a bit more one-sided. I'm not sure if this one will be as one-sided as we saw on 16. But not one we've seen between the two. And honestly, I haven't seen England pick into this one either. Perhaps for good reason. But it doesn't also feel like a track that you want to ban, right? That you're like, oh, 12? Yeah, no, we need to ban 12. Why would you ban 12? I don't know. Would be a very, very interesting situation for that one to occur. But this is the last of the pick maps with that as well. As it is 1-2, we are going to be playing at least 2 more maps. So we'll be getting into the random territory where our first of our random maps is going to be 09. Following that, necessary, we got 22, and the decider to tie it all together, if it's necessary, is 08. So we got a couple of fast ones in there and 22 to, test the mettle of our players.
Now, I've got to be honest, this is feels like a strange pick after last match.
I have not fully followed the last match. Please enlighten me.
I'm suddenly really worried as to. I feel like the Slovenia-Denmark match and the Denmark-Netherlands match blurred into one here by accident. I need to get the results up quickly and check before I start spouting utter nonsense.
We'll see what that says. So the match results: Denmark, Netherlands. That was 12. Denmark won that one.
It was
5-4.
It was this one last game. Yeah.
5-4. Yeah.
So in this,
sounds close.
Netherlands. It wasn't. Ish. I will give a brief summary for anyone who was not here last time as to what happened. So
there you go.
We had, I think the first 2 rounds were like 1-1, and then Netherlands got it up to 4-1, 1 round away from going straight into the final with a 3-1 victory over Denmark. Nice and simple, nice and clean and tidy. Denmark, out of nowhere, proceeded to win the next 4 rounds in a row and drag us onto map 5.
I see.
Me and Key were talking like the match was already over. And then Netherlands sprung a surprise. And despite that, they've gone for a pick here. Despite the fact that I worry they'll be shaky after that. After a series of rounds which could have cost them their place in the grand final had they not performed well on map 5. It's a strange pick to me. And I almost want to say I'm feeling some initial bit of vindication with a clip coming out from I think who it was. That was Yussi. And Epos and Lord Cracked taking a 1-2 there. Confusing map pick in my opinion.
That is a bit worrisome. I mean, definitely hearing that and the way that round unfolded, bit of a worrisome pick. It may also come down simply to the maps remaining. Definitely at some point coming into the grand finals, you're playing up against the other best team of the tournament, right? That's what we're here to determine, which one of these 2 is the best this season. And so at that point, what map do you really pick into? Because you can kind of assume that most maps your opponent's going to be pretty dang good at. I mean, there's still exceptions to the rule, right? 16 is a good example of that. 19, which was banned, stuff like that. But that's where the pick and bans come in, right? And I guess this was the one they felt the most comfortable in after that match. But so far, it's not looking too good. It's not looking too good. That's a 2-3-4 for England. Another round going there. Marijntje does have first place, but missing Jussi and Japso to get a bit closer, and especially a track like 12. These are the types of finishes that you can very much expect, right? With how close this one can get.
Yeah, that was another close round, but once again, going the way of England here. Picking up the first 2 rounds on the Dutch map pick. Now, that obviously happened on the last Dutch map pick as well, and England would go on to lose. And I'm not going to say that it's over, but I am once again left questioning the pick slightly based off these initial rounds, and also based off what happened where they kind of capitulated against Denmark here. This round, though, gonna go the way of the Dutch squad. Epos might get the win, but it's not going to be enough.
Well. 30
yeah, 2.9s.
He also was a bit close to hitting the wall there, but able to, get barely past that, fully calculated that turn, and would have otherwise hit the wall right before that jump onto the final plastic section. Could have been quite disastrous, but able to make their way through. Lord Quack as well earlier on with a bit of a clip across one of the blocks. Did mean that things were a bit more favorable for the Dutch squad on that one. This starts looking a lot better compared to the first 2 rounds. Similar to the third one, Marijntje taking the lead. Oh, Jasse is out. That will mean Jasse and Marijntje. It is up to them to keep the lead up. And Lord Quack and Epos right next to them. That is a side-by-side. Lord Quack delivers a little bit of speed.
Oh, goes into the pillar.
Allows Jasse and Marijntje to get away. And that is a round.
And 0.8 from Yabzo. What a time there.
Bit of retribution.
Yeah, and maybe it just took a couple of rounds to warm up here, but it's looking stronger now for Benevolent. So at 2-2.
Yeah.
And some very strong pace being laid down here. Certainly stronger than, I think, what we saw in Denmark versus Netherlands.
Yeah, even with a player down there, able to pick up the win. Always a good feeling to have, especially in the final stages of the tournament. Lord Quack in a duel with Jussi and Jasso. Epos coming in to support. Marijntje lagging behind a little bit. Still, though, look at that. 5 players all within earshot of one another. It's going to come down to these final few turns. Once more, great turns there from the Dutch squad. Look at that, 0.9s on the board. Just the only one barely missing out. But even then, that's a great Dutch ace to bring the lead on 12 after a somewhat unfortunate first 2 rounds. They are finally starting to get into the groove of things. 3 rounds won in a row, even with 1 player down, able to get that one. And yeah, maybe it was just a matter of warming up.
Yeah, and they certainly do look nice and warm now. That said, good start for Lord Quack and Epos here. I'll be intrigued to see if they can keep it together as the Yabzo, Jussi, Marijntje all catching up, filling up that 2nd, 4th spot. I think England will need a crash here if they want to get anything from this round.
Ooh, don't like that jump from Jussi there.
Oh, and they do get something from this round. There's a couple of questionable lines there, and ends up being Marijntje's, which is the most questionable, giving England round, dragging it up 3-3. This could still very much go either way. Although, yeah,
definitely feeling a bit more of a coin flip. I mean, especially with this track. I mean, times we've seen thus far, we've seen 0.8s, 0.9s, 0.1s, right? Pretty much never more than a couple tenths between the players, and you know, like with 1 player down every now and then. Still having 5 players within those types of times is always going to be a bit of a toss-up, especially with the risk that you can take a little bit on each and every one of these turns. How tight do you dare to go across this platform, for example, to try and retake the lead? Well, this one, though, is looking a lot more dominant for the Dutch squad, and all 0.9s from them as well. That one looked a lot more dominant. But even then, look at the times, right? 0.9s, 0.0, 0.1. I mean, Epos, the only one slowing down a little bit due to his drift right before that final drop down. Still very, very close between each and every one of these. And the first shot for the Dutch squad to even things out here, bring it to a 2-2. And Epos with an early crash there as well. That may be enough. No, Marijntje also now down 2 versus 2. A little bit of stress building up. We'll see if Lord Quack does enough. No, he succumbs as well. 3 players remain. What is happening in this round? Only player remaining for the Dutch squad is Ryan at the moment, and he hasn't really had the best of times on this track. Has been able to somewhat keep up with everybody, but never been in the lead. But another crash.
1 more goes.
What is happening?
And he goes along with finish. He doesn't make it in. Where are the players?
What?
Genuinely, where is anyone?
That was it. But yeah, no, the pressure definitely getting to some of these players, and we are 4-4. We're gonna determine it right here, right now, whether or not this was a smart choice. Early crash from Ryan.
That's poor. That is.
Who knows? It could go either way. We've seen it previous rounds.
That is true.
Although I'd be happy. I'm happy with the results we're seeing at the moment. Stop the
I'm not.
count right here, right now, but not quite there. Lord Quack having to slow down through that turn, wasn't finding the entry as clean through that uphill plastic, and so Evon's the only one left standing in the middle of this Dutch squad and isn't able to match his speed on the drop down as well. And so it's going to be a Dutch ace to close things out after a bit of a harrowing round 8. That is going to be a 5-4 win, 2-2 on the board for the Netherlands there.
Yep, they got away with that one in a way they didn't against Denmark.
Yeah. That was that was something. That's all I'm gonna say. That was something. And so, if only the Dutch crew was able to play on 13 right here, right now, they would be ecstatic. They would be so chuffed. But England says no. We're not playing that band. And so instead, we go to our first of our random maps. We go to 09. 09, I think, is also going to be another close one with the way this track works. Quite similar to, the techniques that you would expect from 12, having these platforms to somewhat slide about. I mean, there's a bit of plastic, but you've got the dirt, you've got the grass. And that ending is where dreams are made, honestly. Some players go for the jump. Some players try to keep their wheels on the ground. But there's always someone who goes down along the way. Marijntje and Timmy's calling out the clown show for what it is. So everybody, get your finest, colorful afro on and your red nose and join along this circus.
Yeah, there are a lot of maps in this campaign that are very competitive, very close, very serious. This is not one of them. This track is a bit of a mess, to be honest, and there's so many, tiny little things that will cause massive changes in terms of, your time. We're gonna see at least one person fall off on the starting section. You then, as Yavzo is trying to take us through, and kind of proves that, yeah, we're gonna see lots of things. Someone will fall off here. There's then the engine off drift, which is not something most players will come across outside of campaign, frankly. And that can be a massive change of time. How you jump onto this, also big. It's perhaps the only sane part of the entire track before you get onto this drift, where you have a chance to go absolutely flying if you get it wrong, or you try and actually carry speed. It's going to be... I think it could be quite messy.
Yeah, it's a nice fast one, but at the same time, yeah, it's a slidey one. I think this one we're gonna have to keep our eyes peeled very, very well, because it's one of those blink and you'll miss it before you know it. 2 players flying off the track, one crashing into the cinder blocks, and maybe we're left with 3 players jumping their way to the finish line when they didn't even wanted to. By the way, flags are being flown in the chat. I love to see those. Be sure to support your favorite country, even if it isn't your country. I say still support them, as this one is turned into a best of 3.
I want to see some Englands in chat, But with an eye, obviously. Someone going for finish flag. I don't think they're going to win this edition, given the fact they didn't sign up. That said, getting vaguely back on topic, we see a first mistake coming out from one of the English players, dropping down to last, so it's looking quite comfortable for the Dutch squad.
I mean, there's still that ending, we'll look how that goes. Yeah.
If you've got time to spare, the ending you very much can save. A lot of the time, if as casters, we love to talk about risking and safing, and if you talk to some of the players, they'll be like, we don't know more than one line. If we go safe, we end up going the wrong speed, and that makes things risky going forwards. Safing isn't as much of a thing as we, as casters, like to make it out to be. This track is definitely an exception, because you can just safe that drift, make sure you don't go flying, don't carry any speed out of it, and if you got 3/10 advantage, it makes sense to do.
Yeah, it's definitely one of these tracks where if you do go slower, it's still easier, even if you don't know the line. right? The proverbial line that we have seen many times be mentioned, discussed, and optimized. But yeah, it's this one a bit closer. This one not as many people down and about, and it will be around for England, evening things up a 1-1. There's the map. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm unable to pin it. I wish I was able to, but badge. Maybe I can do the V1? Question mark. Something is
Oh,
preventing me
Lord
from
cracked.
pinning it.
But I had the same bug too. I did try, but
Yeah.
yeah, big mistake coming out from one of the English players at the very start. Myths are going to make it a pretty much impossible battle here. Lengthy does their best, ends up getting a round win, but the rest of the team are not there.
No. And I mean, in terms of times as well, definitely players aren't pushing it as hard as their PBs may betray. 0.2s are what I'm seeing on average. A few 0.1s in there as well. And so far, these players are driving, 0.5s. 0.5s is the fastest we've seen thus far. So definitely some room, but it is one of those tracks that very much is huntable, right? It's one of those you can just keep doing over and over and over and just push slightly more and more and more. It's a nice fast one, and it sometimes the lines just appear and you just make it happen. This one though, Puch, once again that 0.5 I think is what we can expect for our top three to be happening. Definitely good enough for well, in this case first place. But I haven't really seen them push at the extent that their times tell themselves.
Yeah, that was a really good ending from Puck and I can't remember which of the other Dutchies it was, but
It was a blue name.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, that looked weird from Quacked. That looked
It didn't
like
work.
it just didn't look like they turned. That was a bizarre incident. I don't know if.
Woo. Of course. Ads,
Yeah.
No ads.
Yeah, that was really strange. Like it. Yeah, it looks like the input just didn't come through or something. I have no idea what happened there.
Maybe action keyed?
Yeah, could be stuck on an action key. I mean, I could see that previous turn being something your action key. This round looking a little better for England here. It's going to come down to this final drift.
Yeah, Yasso tries to overtake. Does get it, actually. Wow, and
that's
barely
enough.
as well.
Yeah, 8,000 make the difference there. And I think
What an
England will be
attack.
very, very glad to see the end of that track. That did not go well for them.
Yeah, that was beautiful, and that seals the deal. 5-1, not as dominant as we saw happen on track 16 earlier on, but that definitely went the way of Netherlands. Early 1-1, but from that point on, it was relatively clean sailing for the Dutch squad. Really, that last round was the only one where it was looking a bit more hazardous, but just 0.008 of a second between the two players sealed the deal, determined the difference, and made it that the Dutch squad is able to enter map number 6 with a lead. 3-2. We're not going to go to 23. That one already hurt too much. We're going to 22. We already had 23, yeah. Oh no, 23 we won. Sorry, I'm mistaking numbers in my head.
I don't
22.
want to talk about 23.
And in fact, 22, I'm a bit worried about, because yes, this is a random map. Yes, this has been one of the maps that the Dutch squad is familiar with. I know that. But I've also seen, and I'm not sure if Puch will be playing in this one, he wasn't too happy about those wall rides, causing a upset. And I believe this was the final track as well yesterday between the two. Let me double check real quick.
Yeah, well,
England. Yes, this was the final track played between the two. England winning here 5-2.
I like this. I hope this repeats. Well, at a very minimum, the Netherlands are going to be very, very warmed up on this after playing an absolute marathon on it against Denmark. That ended up 5-4 in favour of the Netherlands on the Danish map pick. But I think England could. I got to be honest. It's EBOS. It's Epos I'm scared of. For the
Oh,
Netherlands.
he's playing. He's in. Is he in?
I don't
Where
know.
is he?
I would
Where is
just
he?
assume
Where is
so.
he? Where is he? There he is.
If
I
he's
found
not,
him.
I'm shocked.
Let me
Yeah,
search.
there he is.
We found him. Because I'm curious what is he rolling on a track like this? Thank you, Mom. 10th. A 109.5. And this is very much a map that is appropriate. And this was also one of the tracks where, yeah, Epos was playing and simply dominating the rest of the field. Expected from Epos, as Key mentioned as well, it's very close to what we have seen from tracks in TMGO and such. And so it makes sense for this to be one of the tracks where Epos comes in once again to play some rounds, pick up some points for the squad, and most necessarily bring it to a 3-3 and get to the decider. Because right now it is match point for the Netherlands. They need to win one more map to become this edition's TSCC champions, and this would make it the second time the Dutch squad is able to win it. If not, this will be the third time the English squad will be able to win a TSCC. Not just that, they will be defending champions once again for the next edition, having won the previous one. For the time being, though, looking quite strong for the English squad. Epos on first, Ryan on third, Idol is on fifth. Those are all numbers that are quite nice to hear if you're an Englishman.
Which I am, and I am glad to hear them. I come into this map with like a little bit of trepidation because I think it's certainly comparable to 23, which started off very nicely for England, but then kind of, despite Epos playing so well, the rest of the team weren't really there to support. That said, I feel like the pace shown from Ryan and Idol has been higher on this one, and they are, you know, they pick up that first point as a team rather than Epos dragging along the others, so we'll see. Good performance from Yossi Vervo, managing to pick up first place, even if it didn't end up rescuing a point for the Netherlands.
Yeah, with that. Yeah, it's one of those things, right? Unfortunately, it does a bit to just a bit of a slower start from both Yasso and Pug. Pug does have a phenomenal time on this track, but hasn't been able to really show that off in rounds thus far. As mentioned last time around, these teams played this one. It was a 5-2 win for the English squad, and I believe that also, was a little bit of inconsistency happening on the side of Buff. Again, unable to match the pace that we know he is capable of right now in a duel with Ryan and Epos. Very uncharacteristically mistake, not just for the turn, but also for the player themselves. Ryan going up in the sky. You know what? I very much appreciate that. Big fan. Keep it up. Pug and Yossi also 1, 2, and 3. The only one left standing is Idol. And while he is able to slot into the top 3, currently in position number 2, it's not going to be enough to keep the win away from the Dutch squad. One more checkpoint remaining. Last time around, I remember that checkpoint being quite detrimental. And with Idolus actually getting the first place there, great stuff from him. But Epos and Ryan's mistakes cost the England squad the game right there. Flying Ryan, indeed. I think there's an airline with that. I believe people keep telling me as well. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully Ryan can spend a little bit more money on his flight this time and avoid it crashing as it hits a tree. Although someone is going to go flying, and this time it is one of the Dutch players. Yossi and Yabzo are still here, but less so.
Yeah.
So that kind of leaves a pack of 4 kind of forming up the front, 3 Englishmen and Yossi. I think this is going to be challenging. For the Dutch team to make anything happen here, but so long as that ice slide hasn't been passed, there's still a chance of it all going horribly wrong. Or horribly right. It's, it's a matter of perspective.
Yeah,
we are going to have a bias cast with England versus the Netherlands. It's got to be done.
Oh, yeah.
That said, all players survive it very equally. and it is going to be Epos running away with the win this time. Ryan and Idle there to support, pick up a third and a fourth, and that will be going the way of England.
Yeah, with that one 10.0 from Epos on the board, solid time driven. This time around, not finding himself crashing into the wall. Again, one of those things that is unexpected, but something you need to take advantage of, which the Dutch team did. This time around, though, early mistake causing them to lose that round pretty much from the first half onwards. So we'll see if round number 4 is a bit more favorable. Again, this is a random map, and the times on paper look good, but it's the consistency, especially on a track like 22, that matters the most. For now, though, everybody getting off to a nice start, entering onto the dirt into the first wall ride. We'll see how this goes. This sector into the drift, that is usually where we start to see some mistakes happen. Though everybody gets around nicely. Ryan getting very close to the dirt is going to be able to maintain his speed. Fighting with Puck for 3rd place. And Epos losing a bit of ground on Yussi. Still a lot to fight for in this one.
Yeah, it's hard to tell where this is going to go. I think this is going to come down to the ice. Epos gets a pretty poor entry. You're going to get a good exit, because that can make up for it. I'll tell someone who didn't get a good exit, and that is Yussi pulling miles back with that wheel clip. And suddenly a round that looked like it was fairly open-ended, going very much in favour of England as they pick up a 1-2-5. Great pace from Ryan as well.
Yeah.
A point there. I've seen that from Epos before, so yeah, good performances from It's Ryan. A bit of a newer player relative to Epos, who started probably about 4 years ago at this point, and Idle, who has been around since who knows when.
Ancient times.
Yeah. I don't want to call him out, but
It's, I mean, not just organizing, but also playing in the finals of a tournament. I mean, that always is a impressive feat in and of itself. Just
yeah,
goes to show, right, what years of experience can do.
Yeah, I will give a mention to all the wonderful people who helped make this happen, but Idle often ending up the leader of that, which is, I tried organizing and playing in a tournament once, never again. So the fact that you can do it consistently and actually be challenging for the win of the entire thing,
Yeah.
very, very impressive performance. So
Very, very much so.
we all appreciate.
Ice once away. Oh. Will the nerves get to Yussi this time around? Makes it around Yusso as well, but Epos and Ryan just get
Very
it
consistent.
clean. Yeah, just also
Ooh.
centering out the car beautifully
so-
there as well, not losing any and all speed, just able to get it all onto the dirt, and it's what allows them to drive times like this. Look at that.
Yeah, 0.8 and a 0.9. That's, yeah, the first subs we've seen in this match. Pretty nuts. And after being losing out on the previous map, this random map looking significantly better for England. And I think there is a reasonable chance now that we are going to see a map 7.
Yeah, it's gonna be 08, which is a nice short one where the fight for the line has been shown quite a few times. Actually, 08 has, I mean, I think one of the most interesting matches that we've had, which, let me think. I know it was France against Wales? I want to say Wales. Where the French squad was with 2 players. And they were still able to bring it to a 5-4.
Oh, it was against Belgium on
Belgium.
day 1.
Apologies.
Yeah, I was losing my marbles slightly. With how far behind it made me run because of all these constant draws. That said, this map not looking to drag on. We have Ryan, Idle, and Epos up at the front, so long as they get the ice jump up. Alright, they should be able to hold on to pick up the map win here. Yavzo getting him away, but one Dutch player is not going to do enough. Puck pushes, crashes, and Epos drives a 0.7. That is a way to sign off. The last time he'll play this map in the competition, and he drives that round.
Wow.
And that drags us up to a decider. We're going...
Ludicrous.
Yep. We're going all the way on this one. We are going to map 7. And I cannot call yet. Both teams such strong squads.
Yeah.
I think
It's all unfolded to this, and I'm a bit worried. I will admit.
I'm nervous too.
Obviously, it's coming down to it all, right? It's just one more map, one more track. Now, I would be a remiss of me to not mention that they have played this one before. And you will be happy to hear that as well was a 5-2 win for England. So for the Netherlands here to win it all, it would not just be, somewhat revenge of the sort. I don't know how revenge works and all this, from getting dropped down to the losers bracket from the winners final. It is about dethroning the current champion. It's about getting revenge on the track that they lost before. It's about getting that second win. It's about not getting second once again. So often has the Dutch squad fielded so many teams. So often have there been great players in there. So often have they been a threat to be reckoned with. And for it to be determined on the map on 08, playing against a team that has beaten them on this track before. Obviously, I'm hoping for them to win, but I think that in and of itself would be a great story to finish things off on. But on the upside of things, right, it is the English squad looking to bring it home, being the second to win 3 TSCCs, would be joining in the footsteps of Denmark, and also being the second team to have 2 championships in a row. I didn't know there was a way to get a finish to there. Wait, you can get to the finish from there? No, you can't. Yes, he is in the water. Yeah, I'm like, what the?
Right. We will have a slightly extended warm-up because, as per usual, technical difficulties always know when to strike. So this is why we're just watching Yossi drive around in corners. As Quack has an issue with pad. I hope that means the controller and not me.
Well, no, we'll find out.
We'll have to see. But yeah, we're going to have one more warm-up, and then we will get into this once Quacked is back. I'm not sure who the lineup is going to be coming out for England and the Netherlands. Who's going to represent them on this final track?
I mean, I expect Quack to be in. If not, that would be a very
that would be very
funny. Wait. He's got issues. He's not playing. He's decided to play. Denmark only won twice. Oh, apologies. I thought it was 3 times. Wait, who won 3 times then? I know someone won 3 times.
I didn't think anyone had.
Really?
I think England's on their 3rd. Oh, this will be going for their 3rd.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think France. I think France have 2. The else can be subbed in. Yeah. I'd rather not. So, yeah, we need to make a database. If there's anyone who loves scraping data and making databases and has spare time, DM me. Because I would love to do that as a bit of a project, getting a proper history of TSCC, which doesn't involve flicking for 1,000 Wikipedia pages.
Basically that, yeah. I mean, that's what I had to do right now just to get the numbers for this one. Like, okay, no one, no, yeah. I don't like doing that, I mean.
I don't like spreadsheets, there's a difference.
Yeah.
He likes seeing 1,000 times put in front of him.
And I know there's already something. I know there was already a start, but I'd have to check the Discords for that. What is this line that you see, this alternative route? Did he hit all checkpoints? Nope.
Clearly not. He's just having a good time. Well, nobody has won 3 times. Yep, yeah. So this could be the opportunity for England to take the lead in terms of wins, which I wouldn't complain about. We see Quacked warming up, Quacked with a working pad now. After the game restart, GLHF's coming in chat from all the players. Some of these players, even on the same teams in different competitions, it's a lot of them know each other, but all that can be forgotten now. National pride on the line. England versus Netherlands. Map 7, here we go. We are on track number 8. A grass track very reliant on auto slides to get around the drifts. And a track with very, very tight times, often not determined until the last corner. Now,
Yeah,
Lord Quack is a bit behind, but outside of that, it is very, very tight. We see Linksy and Idle battling for first. No one getting the slide in this top 3, and that, despite equal times from Linksy and Idle, equal 0.4s, isn't going to be enough. Lord Quack making a mistake, dropping England back a little bit. First blood goes to Netherlands.
Yeah, no name diff, by the way. Linksy getting the 5 points over Idolist there, so despite the same times. No name diff. To be fair, it wouldn't have mattered, but, you know, just an interesting thing to note. And yeah, like I mentioned before, history-wise, there's not a lot of history, obviously, on campaign tracks right now, simply due to the fact that we are only really playing them in this tournament, but England does have the win the previous time around, but this is one of those tracks where it's one of those, the pendulum swings, things can go back and forth, and this is one of those. Again, Yovso barely beating Lord Quack to the line, but Timmy's not able to reinforce Yossi, who also so close to Linksy. That's exactly what I'm talking about. These types of times, these types of rounds where it is hundreds of seconds that determine the winner. That 5-2 could have easily gone the other way just because of these things. I believe as well with that 5-2, there was some inconsistency happening on the Dutch squad, just losing players early on. And this time around, we finally have a mistake in this match. I mean, it took us 3 rounds, but Lord Quack does fall behind, and it is a 2v3 currently.
But we have another mistake from the Netherlands.
2-2.
Idle challenging from lead. It is Yossi and Linksy and Idle at the front. Idle and Linksy pick up the win
what a
despite
time.
Quack's mistake. England take the lead. And in this marathon match, we only have a handful of rounds left. Maximum of 6 more to be played here.
Round 4, England leads 2-1. After some first mistakes from both sides. It is going to be a, point fours that determined the wins in this one, and definitely point fours are the thing that these players will be aiming for. Lord Quack to Linksy starting off beautifully there, but going a bit too wide. Both players going into the wall, and Idle is left to his own devices. Yossi, Timmy's are there to pick up some points, and Yossi with a 0.4 picks the 6 points up. And yeah, not a lot that Idle could do about this. And in fact, it is an ace. Timmy's beating Idlest to the line by 0.007 of a second. What a way to even things out, 2-2.
Yeah. After 6.5 tracks, these teams still completely equal. And I still don't know what's going to happen. Who's going to win here? Inconsistencies have plagued England here. Particularly Lord Quacked has struggled. So, can they keep it tidy this time? Looks like they get a decent entry there. But this is favouring the Dutch squad. It's all going to come down to his final corner. Anyone getting a drift? Doesn't look like it. Yavso and Yossi there.
Oh, and those
Get a 1-2. Netherlands take the lead.
Highest score so far between the two. Again, 5-2 was the last time around where England won. So already an improvement from yesterday. But will that be enough? Early mistake happening right there. Idle into the wall. Lord Quack and Linksy in it.
You wonder if pressure's getting... it's pressure getting to England, maybe. I'm not sure we're seeing mistakes on a relatively simple map here. I'm trying to push too fast. And this is a clean round for the Netherlands. They hold it together to move within 1 point of picking up their first TSCC victory in 3 years, despite having reached numerous top 4s, numerous finals. 1 round is all that separates them. What can England do to get him away?
That's the question. I mean, you mentioned as well, right, against Denmark. If it wasn't this map, it was on 12, but unable to close it out with a 4-1 lead. This time around, pressure a lot higher, risks a lot higher. The result, the reward, so much higher. A title for this edition's TSCC just one more round is all that the Dutch lineup needs, but at the same time, is the pressure going to be enough? Linksy
Oh,
going too wide
Linksy!
into the wall. Lord Quack is too far behind. Idolist picks up a bit more speed into the final turn, but it's Timmy's, it's Jussi, it's an ace to close things out, and finally it took the Netherlands 3 years. Last win was winter 2022, and now winter 2025. England unable to win 3 TSCCs, 2 in a row for that matter, and the Netherlands will knock down the defending champion in a stunning victory, scorching finals, honestly, 4-3 line, and the Netherlands does finally win their second title right there. It's coming home, guys. It's finally coming home. It took a little bit of time. Went out to get some milk, some cheese, then got distracted a little bit. But yeah, here we are. Finally. I mean, this time around, not fielding 5 teams. 3 teams will do the trick. And what a close one. What a close one. Again, it does come down to those final few turns, and it did feel like the English squad just succumbing to the pressure a little bit too much. Those final few turns, the walls closing in on Linksy, on Idolus, on Lord Quack, and whew, what a way to end it. And you know what else? And I'm gonna make the joke anyways because I don't care. There was no ceiling plastic. Let's go, baby.
Woo!
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, it's been a bit of a rough weekend as fan of the Brits between Pack, you know, losing out by something like 11,000 to Grenadi on rooftops, ultimately not giving him a chance in final chance, and then why are you key? I do apologize. I can't be bothered to fix that right now. I'm too despairing. But that's well played from both teams. Netherlands deserved a title after so long. I couldn't believe the stat when you said that they'd only ever won one before. Yeah. That's ridiculous. So
yeah, it's been many second places, third places, and yeah, just not able to get the win every single time. Always a threat, never getting in. You know, always the what is the saying? Yeah, never the bride, always the bridesmaid. There, I think something like that. Close enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, this time around, we're able to catch the bouquet and found a nice guy to settle down with or something. I don't know. I'm pushing this.
This analogy is falling apart. This is worse than the rabbit out of a hat in previous match. Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed that. I've got to say, regardless of my own bias against the result that might have just happened, I think that lower bracket final of Denmark versus Netherlands is one of the greatest matches in TSCC history. And we got a full-length 7-match final. We couldn't have get more stacked teams. This has been a brilliant, brilliant edition, and I hope that we get the same set of players representing their countries next time. We get another good campaign, and I'm already excited for the next edition in 3 months' time.
Oh, yeah, definitely curious to see. I mean, we're already just a month away from that next campaign. I'm sure for those still hunting around, we'll put that time in, but I mean, obviously, for those just watching in that may not have been able to get a team together, I do hope that next season the stars align a little bit better. It is going to be spring 2025 then, so they'll usually have more players around. Obviously, more tournaments as well, but we'll see. Either way,
well, I mean, this one has clashed with everything, to be fair.
Yeah, pretty much. But we made it. We made it happen. We've done it. So,
indeed.
And I'm happy with the result. Finally got another one in. Good on you guys. Lekker bezig, jongens. And yeah, what a way to close out a TSCC. Beautiful finals compared to how things could go. I very much enjoyed the way this all went down.
Yeah, great finals. Thank you, everyone who took part. Can't happen without the over 100 players who sign up to each edition to represent their countries. It's always great fun, and we couldn't do it without you. Thanks to Idol and Knightia for their work behind the scenes on Trackmania events and just keeping everyone sane in the Discord. Thank you to Key and Boney, who I absolutely I absolutely threw in the mud yesterday, asking him to produce in about 2 minutes' notice when I realised that I could not, in fact, make it a Red Bull immediately after the cast, and that plan was lunacy. So, yeah, we hope to see you all again next edition, and we hope that we can have another one as good as this one. Thank you all for joining, and we'll catch you in a few months' time.
Bye, guys.